Welcome to the Smark Foundation podcast. I'm Aaron. This is Adam.
Oh, hi, Marks.
And we are here to talk about the best and worst of AEW for the week. This week, not a lot of worsts. I'll just straight up say that before we jump into the news. Not a lot of worst, a lot of really good shit going on this week. I was thoroughly entertained for 4 fucking hours. So we'll see how that goes. There's only one thing I was really disappointed in. We will talk about it a little bit later. I bet you were also disappointed in it. Because of the nature of the fandom that the two of us have for these particular individuals. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. You'll understand when we get there.
Yeah. But most likely.
As far as news this week, we have resumed the crash out of Mercedes Moné.
Yeah, baby. We called this. We're not the only ones who called this. I won't say that. I won't want to give us. I'm not gonna be Barry Horowitz and pat myself on the back here, but sometimes the things that you predict are the things that you predict them because they're the best possible outcome. And just because something is predictable doesn't mean that it's not the best possible outcome. And this is the best possible outcome because over the span of 3 days, she dropped her CMLL championship to Persephone. Had some amazing gear, by the way. I don't know if you saw any of the footage. She always has great gear, but she looked incredible as like this cheetah goddess. It was amazing. The match purportedly was really good. And then a couple days later, she's in Italy dropping one of her other belts to the Italian promotion. I'm forgetting the name of it now. I had it up. I had it up, and now I don't remember it. But point being that, she's losing all those title belts. I still would have preferred it if the last one she lost was the TBS title, because then you could show. First of all, it kind of brings things full circle. And you could show on TV that as she's losing all these other ones, she's clinging to the one she won first all the more. Like she's digging in her claws and she's getting more and more desperate. And you could show that on TV. But I mean, if she needed a vacation, I mean, I'd say she's damn well earned it.
Oh, yeah.
So if this is the way it's going down, Crash Out's still happening. If she's doing these dates, you gotta think that she's due to come back to AEW TV very soon.
I'm wondering if now this might be off the wall, but I'm wondering if maybe she finishes her Crash Out off screen by losing all of her titles elsewhere, and then makes a face turn return to take on Tekla at some point. Because boy, would I root for Mercedes Moné if she was fighting Tekla.
Yeah, well, here's the deal.
But I pretty much would root for anybody if they were fighting Tekla.
I think there's money in that because Tekla is proving very quickly that she's probably top 10 AEW signing, like of all time, like in terms of her worth, because she's over. She's definitely not, unlikable. Like, I love her because of her work, but I could see, she's doing the heel thing right.
Yeah.
She's really, really quickly, within a year, she won the belt. A little bit less than a year, I think, right?
Yeah.
Like, she signed, when did she sign? I'm not sure when she signs. It
Oh,
was early last year. I'm not sure if it was over a year ago, but it was early 2025 that she signed. And she has made an incredible impact. I do think there's money in that match eventually, but I don't want Mercedes to come back and just be a face. I want her to come back and be depressed and work through it. And I want to see the work that goes into the babyface turn. And I think with how careful they've been with her, building her up so much, that we are going to get that long-term story with her. I trust Tony Khan, And I more even than that, I trust Mercedes. You know, for what I understand, like she's not Mercedes Hogan, guys. Like, but
if she was, she'd still be champion.
Yeah, but she does have an active role in how she's portrayed. Serious, for sure. I think that it's pretty obvious that she's done tons of work in putting others over, building up equity in herself, so then when people beat her, it's a big deal and moves that equity along to them. Chris Statlander would not be in the position she's in if she didn't have the first 2 losses against Mercedes and then winning the 3rd match and retaining the belt. She wouldn't have it. She wouldn't even look good enough to beat Tony for the world title to begin with if she hadn't had those 2 banger matches with Mercedes.
Yeah.
Those were foundational for her push up the card.
Yeah.
I don't think you get that without it.
The only other thing I think I would like to see with that is that, like maybe she continues to crash out. Maybe she comes back and we get her versus Tekla in a kind of a heel versus heel situation because she's worse than it. Like, what if she comes back and she's like, oh, no, fuck redemption. I'm worse than all of you baddies. Like, I'm the baddest baddie. I'm way worse than you.
Yeah,
like,
I'm more toxic than you.
Yeah, I'm more. Yeah, because who else could be more toxic than Tekla?
She absolutely has the talent to pull it off. She absolutely has the personality and the drive to pull it off. I think that could you stumbled onto something here. I think that could be the rare heel versus heel match that people actually might be really invested in.
Yeah,
because if you approach it with that angle, I think that's an really interesting angle.
Yeah.
You know, who's really the most toxic?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
like, man.
You can make a case for Mercedes if she goes a little nutso, crashing out. You could really make a case that she is the more toxic individual, depending on what you have her do in the wake of it.
Yeah.
I think that's a really interesting way to do it. Really like that.
Dude,
Normally, I'm not a big fan of heel, but
no, I'm not either. But
with the right context, it could work.
Yeah, it has to be the right. Like I'm way more forgiving of face versus face than heel versus heel.
Yeah, at least everybody has somebody to root for.
Yeah, and then there's that air of like this is a competitive thing. It's like we don't hate each other, but we are going to beat the shit out because we are in competition here. You know, where heel versus heel usually there's just nothing. A lot of times when they do something like that, there's nothing going on there. But this. They could really do something with this where like she maintains her heel status and still is chasing the world title like I believe she should be when she comes back from her vacation and losing all these other belts. I mean, look, she put in the work. She
put in the work.
1 year ago, I would have been arguing with myself. But here we are. She put in the work. Let's go ahead and let's move her up that division. I mean, you're obviously paying her at a level like everybody else in that level of the division. Let's go ahead and, make the paycheck worth it.
Especially since it looks increasingly like Bayley might be settling into a more like a behind the scenes role in WWE instead of coming over to AEW. Like Mercedes very clearly is really pushing for. Like, it's very clear that that's what Mercedes wants to happen, but I think that WWE has seen that and has, maybe not put her on TV in a something that really makes her look all that good, but has given her opportunities to do, a little bit of like basically pre-agenting, if you will.
Yeah.
And, that's something that she seems to apparently enjoy. Good for her. But it's going back and forth, but it looks like it's increasingly like Bayley is winding down on the actual wrestling part of her career and is looking to settle into that agent role if the sheets are to be believed. And who knows? They get stuff wrong. I mean, not all the time, but frequently enough that it's, we don't know. We're not in her head. I still think that there's a lot of money that you can make by putting them together, either as opponents or as tag team partners. Honestly, I think there's money in either. Yeah. I think that Bayley would be better suited ending where the majority of people think her career basically began, right next to Mercedes Moné. And to do that, she has to come to AEW. Because ain't no way Mercedes is going back.
Oh, no. Not a chance.
Not at this point. Why would she?
Yeah.
Like, she more than anyone else would know that no matter how much money they throw at her, they're not going to give her the creative control, or not creative control, but the creative freedom that she enjoys in AEW, and that she works together with Tony to work on this vision that they have together of where she should be going and what she should be doing.
Yeah, I mean, I doubt anybody gets the level of respect they deserve at WWE. So,
no, and some people get more than they do deserve.
Yeah, by a lot. Yeah. So that said, hopefully we'll see Mercedes back sometime soon, and we'll get to kind of see how this all plays out. Especially with
I have missed her quite a bit.
Yeah, we definitely need more. At least when she's on, I mean, we were having a pretty fair amount of women's time lately, but when she's on, there's more. There's definitely going to be more.
Yeah.
So I'm cool with that. Like, they always have good shit going on in the women's division. I'm not upset when, like, good Lord, please give me Mercedes Moné back so I can stop watching Gabe Kidd.
Yeah, we'll get to him
a couple times.
Twice.
Yeah. But speaking of that, we got Dynamite for the week coming at you from El Paso.
Yes.
Really hot lucha crowd as always, because that's El Paso.
Yeah.
And we kick off the night with what I thought was actually going to be the main event. And I kind of got faked out on two different main events. Which is
weird. Who'd have thought?
And I would have been, and I'm a little bit pissed off that what was the main event wasn't flopped around with the co-main event. And I don't know. I felt like there were some weird choices on match order this week.
I'll say this. It is not often that you see a self-contained episode long storyline that runs through the whole episode.
Mm-hmm.
It started here. It ran through Paige's match, which we'll get to in a minute, and ended up in the main event. And it was a nice change of pace. Honestly, like, I feel like AEW never does this. They never do this, and it's so nice when because this was executed, I thought, really well. I did not like the fact that if they were going to spring a real main event on us, I'm okay with that, but I don't really like that it was at the expense of the Women's World Championship.
No.
That's the part.
Especially
that
as really good as that ended up being, because by God, wasn't it? Like, I thought it was fucking
I thought it was good.
So, yeah. So
it had some interesting chemistry. I really liked it.
Yeah.
We'll get to that when we get to it, though. This was the Men's World Championship. MJF defeating Kevin Knight, but making him look like $1 million.
My God, it's like, so here's my conundrum, and allow me to expound on this. My conundrum with Kevin Knight, because I know I'm not the only one that's feeling this. Okay, I know I can't be. If I'm the only person noticing this, then there is an oblivious 42-year-old man who is noticing more than some of you other people, and y'all need to fucking bring your awareness up. Maybe get stoned before you watch Dynamite. I don't know, but because I do, and it makes it way more enjoyable. Even though it's already enjoyable. Okay, don't get that wrong. Okay, Dynamite's fucking awesome. Stone, it's way better. I weep and cry and jump out of my seat and scream and cheer and all of those things because I'm a little higher than most of you. But that's okay because I feel like that makes things better. But my conundrum with Kevin Knight is that I want him to look like $1,000,000. I want him to look like a legitimate contender for the AEW World Championship because I find him thoroughly entertaining. He is incredibly talented. But when you have a match like this where he goes out with the world champion and gives us a very strong case for being able to win it at some point in the future, and a very strong case during this match that he could have won this, because there were times when I was like, oh, are they really about to do that? Like, there was a couple of pin attempts that I was like, this is about to be a 3, isn't it? And I was preparing myself mentally and physically for the shock of that. Because AEW's, when they surprised me, they fucking surprised me. And I was like, there's no way that Kevin Knight is winning this match. But then during the match, there was a couple times I was like, maybe.
That's the magic of pro wrestling, baby.
And I wouldn't put it back, and I also wouldn't put it past Tony Khan to do something like that to me. The only thing that kept me in check was like, there's a pay-per-view in like a week. We already have a match announced for it. Like, they're not gonna deprive us of Hangman versus MJF at Revolution
in a Texas death
match for the World Championship. Like, they're not gonna deprive us of it. So that's the only thing that kept me in check the whole time. So I knew he wasn't gonna win, but we see Kevin Knight, member of Jet Speed, member of Jet Set Rodeo, 1/3 of the World Trios champions, already a world champion in effect, going against the men's singles world champion, having a good case to win that match, and couple that with his lately increasing amount of cockiness and attitude. And I'm like, is this Kevin Knight coming into his own and just becoming cool Kevin Knight, like a cool version, like okay, the new, the rookie, the green, all of that wore off of him real fucking quick.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Is this like basically his bar mitzvah? Is this him becoming a wrestling man? You know, we're like, okay, Kevin Knight is still one of our favorite wrestlers, and he's still a face, and he's still this incredibly talented wrestler, but he's got a man's attitude about him because he knows how good he is. Or is this just another piece of the eventual, very much dreaded on my part, heel turn of Kevin Knight? Because I don't want him to be a heel. I don't. I am like vehemently anti Kevin Knight being a heel. And this, the little voice in the back of my head is like, this is giving him more reasons to be cocky. This is giving him more reasons to talk out of his pocket instead of from his mind. Like, this is either a building block to man attitude, face Kevin Knight, or cocky asshole heel Kevin Knight, and I still don't know which direction it's going, and I'm okay with that. But one of them is like, my very fiber of my being does not want Kevin Knight to be a heel.
I think in practice, or not in practice, on paper, you are going to be disappointed.
Fuck!
That said, I think he has all the talent in the world to pull off being a heel. I mean, I'm not the kind of guy that kind of wants to root against him rather either. But look at it this way. He loses this match, right? He's getting his midsection work, his ribs worked over the whole time. He gets the visual pin for like 13 seconds off of the UFO splash because in defending himself from it, MJF kicks Bryce into the the middle rope and gives him a dreaded armpit injury. It takes him out for like 13 seconds or so. Turns around, can't pin him, and then when he goes for the UFO splash again to finish him back off, MJF gets the knees up, hits him with a heat seeker, and it's done. Later on, he has that World Trios title match. We'll get to how that's set up in a second.
Yeah.
But he's the one who takes the pin in that. Spoiler alert. He had all this momentum in the world, gaining all this confidence, getting cocky. And then he has one really, really bad, disappointing night. And then on Saturday, who comes up to him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is Swerve, who was the only loss that he had in this like stretch of getting all these wins. Was he lost to Swerve a few weeks ago before he turned back heel. He beat Kevin Knight in a really, really awesome main event, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, you have to do, you got to do something. You got to be a killer.
Yeah.
They're setting it up so that the turn makes sense, because it makes a lot more sense that he's going to get cocky and then he's going to suffer major setbacks. And that's what's going to serve as the impetus for him saying something needs to change. I'm only going to get so far on Raw talent alone because I'm in a Shark Tank. I got to figure out a way to punch the sharks in the gills. Like, it's going to make sense, and it's going to be, I think it's going to be good. But I could see how on paper you're going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
But yeah, the match was good. A little slower than your average Kevin Knight match because you're in there with MJF, who will absolutely dictate the pace of a match.
Yeah.
He's the heel. He's the champion. That's the tradition. It's on his terms. And honestly, I don't think it made anything worse. I thought the match was better for it.
Yeah.
Especially since he was so giving. He's been so giving in this title run. Like, I'm not a fan of MJF the character. I still think that he never ever really gets his comeuppance, and it bugs the hell out of me. Because like, it's been 7 years. Please show some character growth.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like he could be the biggest babyface in the company if he would just redeem himself.
In any
if
way.
he would just take responsibility for all his crap. But I'm losing faith that that's ever going to happen. So, like, I'm not holding my breath for it.
I mean, I don't think he's ready to be a face yet.
No, I mean, he would have to go through a transformation. I just don't see it happening, is the thing. I don't see them booking that.
I don't see him wanting to be a face. He's probably having a great time. I mean,
it's a lot more fun being a heel.
It is.
Pretending to do all the stuff that your inner demons want you to do and getting away with them because it's fiction and there are no actual consequences for them.
Right.
Because you're not actually doing anything wrong.
Right.
You're just playing. You're just play acting for the sake of the fiction.
Yeah.
I totally get that. When I was, doing theater and stuff, I was always drawn to like the hot-headed heel roles.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I always had way more fun e-fetting as a heel than as a babyface.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like, totally.
Face Ace could never spit in your face.
No.
Face Ace would have never. He would have never spit in your fucking face. Heel Ace would have spit in your mom's face.
It's true. It's true.
It's true.
One of these days we'll give like an entire synopsis of the epic that is the interconnected story of Ace Borger and Deadeye Adam Deming. But
oh man,
that'll be for another episode.
Yeah, that'll be a long call in the ring segment, folks.
It would be. I would try and cut it down, but you know, I'm a verbose mf'er. So, but if y'all think that I am annoyingly verbose, trust me, I get it. I understand. I put it in my wedding vows, for goodness sake, that I am acutely aware of my wordiness and my long-windedness. I get it. I try to cut things down, and I fail more often than not. But I keep trying, and that's the important thing.
Yeah.
Completely aside from that, next we get Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin versus Gabe Kidd and Clark Connors.
Oh gosh, Timu
I
Hangman and
do like
Cutface.
I do like how they kept up the momentum and the energy of the crowd with the pre-match attack. I
Yeah.
actually really loved that because it forced you to pay attention and keep that energy high. And this crowd was hot. El
Oh, it
Paso was
was.
hot
Oh, El
the
Paso was super
whole
hot.
night. They were treated to a great show, and they rewarded everybody who made that show with their undivided attention throughout the entire time.
Yeah.
The match. I will say there was that really cool spot before the bell rang where they're brawling on the outside, and Gabe Kidd had set up the stairs, and he was going to pile drive Orange Cassidy onto it, but Cassidy throws Gabe Kidd off. He punches him in the face, and knocks him off, only to eat a spear from Clark Connors as he runs up the stairs and spears him off into the timekeeper's table. That was a cool spot.
That was a cool spot. Yeah.
That was a neat spot. Loved the visual of it, but they went nowhere with it. Like if I was booking this match, I would start out exactly the same with everything. You have Darby in there with OC on the outside, dead to the world because of the spear, right?
Yeah.
You have Darby trying his best to fight off both Connors and Gabe Kidd, not being able to really until he gets a lucky hope spot. By that point, OC gets up on the apron, takes the tag, but he's still too beat up.
Mm-hmm.
But even he mounts a comeback, and that's when I would bring David Finlay in to cost them the match, not to beat them up after the baby faces get the win.
Yeah.
Like I think it's a better story to show them still being able to win, but still getting screwed out of it, than winning and then the baddies getting their heat back with a surprise debut. You know?
My problem with this match, I think, I liked the match overall. My problem with it was that, one, I thought the heel should have won, and you may only get that 1 or 2 or 10 times in my entire lifetime when talking about Gabe Kidd.
Well, the thing too is that he already has a relatively. I mean, there was some cheating going on, but it was mostly like your eye poke stuff. It wasn't like a low blow or a chair shot or anything. But he still has a relatively clean win over OC recently. So OC losing again doesn't really harm him all that much.
No, but
as far as I can see.
Why are we giving OC the resilience of Darby Allin by the transitive property of being in a tag team?
Okay.
Because I expect if they had speared Darby off the fucking stairs like that through the timekeeper's table, I 100% would have expected him to get up and get back in the ring. Orange Cassidy is a little bit of a different story, and I did not actually expect to see him for the remainder of the match because
I didn't
of
either.
That.
But what I will say is that he does have a history of being incredibly underratedly resilient. Like, you remember his matches with Mox for the international title, those bloodbaths. Like,
that's fair.
It's not that he does it. It's not that you are right that it's not the same as Darby though.
No,
he's not indestructible like Darby seems to be. Like, I totally get where you're coming from, but let's not completely undersell Orange Cassidy in that.
That'd be fair.
But yeah, like, I mean, I don't think the baby faces should have won here. I think Orange should have taken the pin
Mm-hmm.
when David Finlay came in, made his surprise debut as an attacker to cost them the match after fighting from underneath for the entire time.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, and maybe that's booking 101, and maybe it's a little boring for some people, but I think that's with the way that it started, that hot start, that's the layup story to tell.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
that's the thing, easiest thing for people to digest. This is, I don't know. I don't feel like the baby faces needed to win.
Yeah.
I
I
felt
mean,
like the
now,
heels probably needed it more.
yeah. Now, the best part of this match was the after with David Finlay, because, I mean,
Yeah,
the
that's
report,
clearly his dad's shillelagh, by the way.
yeah, clearly it is one,
It's
yes.
the very same shillelagh.
Yeah. But this is like the least expected thing. I mean, the reports for months have been that he was going to WWE.
Yeah, I was, my gas was well and truly flabbered.
Yeah, I was like,
I
what
was
the
not
fuck?
expecting this
And
at
I was like,
all.
what the fuck is David? What the fuck? And my wife's like, who's David Finlay? I was like, Finley's kid, and she's like,
Yeah,
oh, like
yeah,
even my wife who doesn't like. I mean, she watches wrestling with me, but like she doesn't like not. She just doesn't know as much wrestling history as I do. That's just all there is
yeah.
to it. So she did not know that this was Pit Finley's kid, like off the hop. Like I told, but as soon as I told
Right.
her, she understood the enormity of it. Like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
yeah, because that's a
Fourth
bad motherfucker.
generation
Yeah,
wrestler.
yeah, and that's a way to tell somebody like this is 100% a bad motherfucker, sight unseen. That's a Finley. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, like,
it's true. The funny thing is, like, I know that, like, in one of our first episodes, I did an entire year-long storyline for the guy, but I'm actually not all that familiar with his in-ring work. I hear he's a pretty decent promo. Oh, not like mind-blowing, but like a pretty decent promo. I know that he was the last leader of the Bullet Club.
no,
That's about all I know, though. So I'm looking forward to longer matches where he can show what he's capable of, because I'm really not all that familiar with it.
yeah, I'm ready to see more of his in-ring work. I mean, I liked what we did see this week, but I need
I like the
more.
jacket.
Oh yeah, the jacket's fantastic.
Jacket's
man.
cool.
Yeah, the gear's rad, man. Like
Yeah.
he definitely has the look. Like,
Oh,
I
definitely carries himself like a star.
Oh yeah, and carries himself like the baddest man on the fucking planet. I just want to see how it works out.
Well, I think it's pretty easy to carry yourself like that when you've got a monster like Gabe Kidd at your side. Like, say what you want about him. I don't like the guy, but if you have him in your pocket, yeah, I'd be pretty confident too.
Dude,
That dude's a madman.
And it's that he's fucking and he's so fucking tall. Like, I don't know, Gabe Kidd, if he looked exactly the way he does now and he was 4 feet tall, he would still be fucking intimidating somehow.
Yeah,
Like,
he's a honey badger. Like,
he looks like, I mean, he has he has what I expect, like the remaining football hooligans. That's what they look like.
Yeah.
Like if I'm gonna go to like a fucking Arsenal game and get assaulted by someone, I am 100% positive that I'll be like, he looked like Gabe Kidd.
Like, and I think that's one of the reasons why I don't like him so much, is because like he's a little too real.
Yeah, but he's a twat, dude. But he's such a twat. Like,
I don't even know if he is or not. But the way that he commits to the character, it's like, that's the kind of person I just, God, it rubs me the wrong way. Every time I run into somebody like that, it just rubs me the wrong way. I hate that guy.
I bet
hate, not that guy, like him. I hate that guy. The idea of the person that acts like that, you know?
Like if
because I've known guys like that, and I hate those guys.
Yeah. If your wrestling personality is you turned up to 11, I probably wouldn't be friends with Gabe Kidd or MJF for that matter.
Here's the thing.
Like,
apparently he's dating, of all people, Willow Nightingale.
No, I thought she was married to somebody.
No, apparently, like that was something that I just saw randomly on Blue Sky. Like maybe I misread it, or maybe it's BS and they don't know what they're talking about. But what I saw was that those two are dating. And I'm like, she definitely knows something we don't. Because she seems rad and he does not. So I don't know what else to say about that.
Oh man.
Right? You're
I'm
finding
looking.
out in real time.
Well, she's not with Zion Quinn anymore, which is who I thought she was with.
That's right. I remember that name.
But
former X Division champion, I think.
Yeah,
right?
I think so. Yeah, I don't. According to this, she's been private and not publicly disclosed who her current partner is. So, if it is Gabe Kidd, he must be like the complete opposite of his character on screen, like the 100% opposite. Now, I could understand that because I'm a bit of an asshole, and except to my wife,
right?
So, like, I could.
She would kill you.
She would.
Katie would destroy you.
She is one of the only women I've ever had in my life who is able to counteract my asshole and be.
Love you, Katie.
So yeah, like I'm not that way to her. I love my wife, but I mean, yeah, I could understand like if he likes her and he's different with her than he is with everybody else. I could see that, but I could also see like, man, he must be at least some kind of a nice person. Like if your wrestling personalities you turned to 11, I can only imagine she's a sweetheart. By all accounts, she is. Yeah. So that would be, I don't know, that kind of weirds me out a little bit. Like that just doesn't, I don't know, for some reason in my brain, that just doesn't click.
Yeah. When I saw that shuffle across my timeline, my skyline, I was like, oh my, what is this? What world am I living in?
Right.
I almost like convince myself like I dreamed it. Because like right. did I really see this? I don't know. Up next though was Renee Paquette interviewing Bandito and Andrade El Idolo. Bandito is a big old fangirl for LL Cool A, and Andrade is like, you want a selfie? Like,
yeah, dude. Yeah, like Bandito's like, it will be an honor to face you. Andrade's like, I'm going to be a twat.
Yeah, I'm going to be a real prick to you.
Yeah. I have a hard time rooting against Andrade, and I really wish he was a face. Like, I hate that he's a heel because he is a really good face.
He can do the exact same gimmick.
Yeah. Except when somebody does something like, when somebody says something like this, he can just be like, I would say like, he does everything exactly the same as he does now, except in an interview like this, he would just be like, thank you. It is also an honor to fight you.
Yeah.
That's literally the only change. And suddenly he's a face, like it wouldn't even be that hard.
Yeah. So they're going to be facing off against each other at Revolution. And that match will be amazing.
That's going to be a match of the night.
Possibly match of the night.
Yeah, it might be.
I mean, this is a card that's shaping up to have a lot of freaking bangers on it.
Kenny Omega has a fucking match, and I'm still like, wait, no, Kenny Omega doesn't have a match.
Doesn't.
No, he doesn't. Okay, so
no, he doesn't.
Yeah, this might be match of the night then without any fucking contender.
I don't. I mean, that depends on how. In my mind, it depends on what they've got cooked up for FTR and the Bucks, and it depends on what they have in mind for a Texas death match with MJF in it. So
the way the Bucks tell storylines, somebody in FTR is catching a pile driver from their brother.
Probably.
I would put that shit on.
I would mark for that for sure. I would mark for that. But yeah, like this match is gonna be really, really awesome.
Yeah.
I do think that Bandito's probably going to lose though, and I don't like that as long as he's still Ring of Honor World Champion.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be taking clean loss. Well, it probably won't be a clean loss. So there's that. Not. But like,
no.
Maybe Andrade cheats to win and then uses that as the basis to challenge for the Ring of Honor World title, and then Bandito retains.
Maybe.
in the rematch. Um, I love how incredibly likable Bandito is. I really didn't like how he came off as such like a just I don't know. He came off like one of us,
Yeah.
you know. Like he should have had just even if he brought like just a little bit said the same thing and brought a little more bass to his voice, it wouldn't have been it wouldn't have been quite as like I'm starstruck, you know.
Right.
Um, but I mean, let's be real here. English isn't either of their first languages.
No.
So, I mean, maybe it's just a language barrier. They're just trying to get the words out and be understood, and the emotion underneath it comes second in lieu of being understood. So, I can't hate it too much. The match itself is gonna slap, so who cares? Who cares?
Yeah. It's gonna be so badass.
I mean, it's not like this interview was offensive. It wasn't at all. It was a short little thing to establish the dynamic between the two. It did its job, and then the match is going to tell an amazing story. So there you go.
Well, up next is my disappointment.
Yeah. Yeah, I see the impetus behind it. I see the logic behind what they did with the inspiration in the Brawling Birds. And to a degree, I still enjoyed it for what it was. Because Jesse and Cassie are so incredibly funny. They're just so funny. The way they sell things is so over the top and cartoony. And like they make everybody look like $1,000,000. Brawling Birds picked up so the inspiration come out second, and they just want to dance to their music again. So as soon as it hits, it stops playing. They get in the center of the ring and they complain for their music to come back on again, so that they can dance to it, which honestly is a funny bit. And then they just get destroyed, absolutely steamrolled. And like I said, part of me was really entertained by the fact that, like, because they made the most of what it was, but I question where they're going with it. Like, you made a big deal about it being their first match on TV, and then you do this with them. I have to think that there's a plan. Maybe this is to set up a longer feud with them down the line, where they act as comedic foils, kind of throwing minions at them or just costing them. Maybe they get an early title match, but the inspiration costs them. So, because I do think that the plan was to put them together so that they are an English team, to B, get a win at Wembley, a big win at Wembley for the belts, and get that big hometown pop.
Probably.
I don't think with the size of the division being what it is, I don't know if you can justify them not getting a title shot sooner rather than later, because there are only so many teams, and they've already have like a 3-match winning streak going.
Yeah.
So maybe they get a title shot, but they get screwed over by the inspiration, so they lose and get knocked to the back of the line. And then they have to deal with the inspiration for another month or two before they can get back in contention.
I don't know.
Like, just spitballing. I was hoping for something a little bit more.
Yeah, I was hoping for more than a squash match for sure.
I will say, like I said, they made the best of what they were given. Like, they were hilarious.
Yeah,
but like
pretending to shake their balls was fucking great. That was fucking hilarious. Yeah. But
yeah. I I'm almost wondering if this was to appease some of the detractors. Like, you also have to realize too that the inspiration were like 2 months ago were TNA Knockouts Tag Team Champions.
Yeah.
In their first match, in their first run with TNA, they won the belts, I think, too. I think in their first match, they like instantly they did the TNA thing. Oh, you were from WWE? Here, let's instantly give you a belt.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if Tony is just trying to subvert that trope by saying,
Yeah.
"Hey, look, we signed them, and we hear you that you think that fandom that you think that this is no longer where the best wrestle because we have a comedy tag team in the mix here." And maybe they did this to appease those fans, saying, "Hey, look, we hear you. They're not going to be pushed to the moon right away. Okay, trust us. We know what we're doing."
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There are lots of questions. There are lots of possibilities. What I do know is that the Brawling Birds won with 2 birds with 1 stone, which is the Heart Attack. A great name, but it's still the Heart Attack.
Yeah.
To me, it's always going to be the Heart Attack. And they win in about 3 minutes. And
yeah,
I was like, okay, well, I hope this leads to something.
I hope so. Because I was just like, man, really? I saw him coming out. I was like, hell yeah, their TV debut, cool.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get it. We'll see how the match goes, and then okay, it's over.
I think what it's going to come down to is what they do with them next week.
We'll see,
and then we'll see if they have a direction for them.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope they didn't just sign them to, just to sign them, just to get an Australia pop or whatever.
Yeah.
We'll see how that works out. After that, we have another squash match.
Yeah. In fact, this is where we're going to introduce a brand new award. We're going to do this for week on the week because there are lots of squash matches in AEW recently. I don't know if you noticed this, but there's usually at least one a week now. And this may be a little niche, but we're going to incorporate this into our weekly podcast now. If any of you have ever seen the classic 1967, I believe, film Ebera Horror of the Deep, otherwise known as Godzilla versus the Sea Monster, you may or may not remember that during the course of the film, Godzilla is attacked by a giant condor. It's just a Rodin puppet covered in fur. The fight lasts about 35 minutes, or 35 seconds rather. Like, he comes up, he pecks Godzilla a few times, he flies away, atomic breath, boom, explodes into flames and crashes down. 35 seconds. Long live Giant Condor. He's a legend. And in respect to that, our Giant Condor of the week goes to Marty. I think his name was Stone. He got me a little worried.
Marty Snow.
Got me Snow. Marty Stone. Snow. Got me a little worried when I heard Marty. I looked up and I'm like, oh, thank God it's not Marty Skrull. But he entered this match, and I think he actually lasted less than the Giant Condor lasted against Godzilla. He took a
high
big
boot, buckshot lariat.
Buckshot lariat, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Fairly certain it was about 15 seconds, if that. So, congratulations to Marty Snow. You are the Smark Foundation podcast Giant Condor of the Week. Congratulations. You earned it, kiddo. You earned it.
Caw.
Yeah. Long live Giant Condor.
Long live Giant Condor. For 10 seconds this time.
Yeah. But obviously it was just to set up a promo. But this is where we get the second part of our night-long storyline, where Hangman, he gets on the mic and he challenges MJF to come out here, challenges him specifically to come out and try and knock him out with the Dynamite Diamond ring. That'll be important later. But MJF comes back on the stage still in like his full jock gear with his jacket and everything. It's like he got back into full gear for some reason. But before much can happen, Hanger is jumped from behind by Kyle Fletcher, Mark Davis, and Kazuchika Okada of the Don Callis family. The boiled hot dog himself comes out to clarify that last week on Collision, Jet Speed was going out making all sorts of claims about how they'll face anybody anytime, especially since they had aims on getting all the gold with Speedball eyeing Kyle Fletcher and the Jet. Even if he was going to win the world title here, said he still wanted to take the international title off of Okada.
Yep.
So Callis apparently went behind everybody's back and accepted the challenge for later tonight, which is kind of a heel move, Tony. You didn't even tell them that they had a match tonight. You didn't even tell Kevin Knight that he was going to have to pull double duty. Like, implied heel Tony Khan, man. Like,
yeah, you little scamp, you. How dare you not tell anybody?
I mean, this is their place of work. You can't just tell them. You can't just drop surprises on them. What do you think this is? The other company? where most of their shows are booked by surprise? Like,
right.
But yeah, so that's what happened. So yeah, it was a very big surprise, and it's unfortunately decided to bump the other main event. They tried to claim throughout the rest of the show that it was a double main event, but it should have main evented with the women's world title match. Given what they did in the actual final match, though, I get why they saved it for last.
I mean, I get it.
I get it, but like, meh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. After that, we go backstage with Renee Paquette, and she's with the Young Bucks in a room at a table waiting for FTR, who come in, and they've apparently agreed to no contact. But
I do like how they're finding different venues for these no contacts interviews. Like this one, the other one was, the one with Bandito and Andrade was just in general backstage. This was in like some conference room somewhere. Like, I like that they're finding different locales to do these things.
Yeah. But yeah, they basically back and forth, typical Bucks versus FTR stuff. I mean, this isn't anything new that we haven't seen before. As far as
I will say though, there was a great bit. There's a great freaking bit where Cash, in the Bucks are like, this isn't about who's the best in the world anymore. This is personal. You pile drove our brother. You attacked our family, and Cash just like quickly interjects. Self-defense.
Yeah.
Like, Cash is low-key really, really funny if you give him an opportunity to be. He just he just gets in there and needles you. It's great.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, basically that was pretty much it. FTR, they argue until FTR decides to remove themselves from the situation, but not before they knock out Brandon Cutler real quick.
Yeah, I knew as soon as you actually saw Brandon Cutler, instead of assuming it was him behind the camera, that he was going to get knocked out. Like,
yeah.
You knew it. Like,
yeah, and I'm upset though because I finally got a Brandon Cutler tracksuit. I mean, it's even the blue tiger stripe.
I know, you showed me. I'm so jealous.
And he wasn't wearing it the next time I laid eyes on him, and I was like, I am so like. Bruh, like I can't wait to wear it to an AEW show. Like, it got, dude, I'll put it this way. It got such a good reaction in the wild from non-wrestling fans. Like I wore it like a couple of times to work. And I took it to Colorado with me last weekend. And dude, like we went to a bar arcade, like a barcade, called One Up.
Oh, great.
And
That's awesome.
this One Up place, it's all like classic stuff. Like there's nothing in there newer than like 10 years old, and one room is like specifically all like 70s and 80s and early 90s era pinball machines. Like it's fucking just amazing. But we're getting like our change out of the old school like dollar bill exchange machine,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
hear this dude from like there's a like couple hundred people in this place. I hear this dude yelling, walking up behind us. My God, bro, fit of the night. Whoa. And he like comes up, he's like, your fucking tracksuit's so awesome. Snaps a quick selfie and walks off. I was like, did that just happen?
That's
Uh,
incredible.
but yeah, so like, and that happened like pretty good. So a lot of people, oh, dude, I like your fucking tracksuit. That's dope. And like that was just in the wild. Like I can't wait to wear this bitch to an AEW show.
Oh my
Can't wait.
gosh. Yeah.
Ooh, like it's so comfy too. I love it. But yeah, so yeah, poor Brandon Cutler got knocked out. If you had been wearing your tracksuit, Brandon, that wouldn't have happened. Just saying.
Yeah, you would have been able to run away because you would have been
Yeah,
fast enough.
exactly.
That's
You
what
would
those
have been
stripes are
dressed.
for.
Yeah, you would have been dressed for the occasion.
Yes.
So after that, we've got an AEW Continental Championship eliminator match. We got John Moxley, of course, the champion, going against Hechicero, which, man, I didn't know I wanted this match, and then
This
I was
match was
in
amazing.
it, dude. It was
And you know
fucking great.
why it was amazing? Because Hechicero controlled like 95% of it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like literally, Moxley got hardly anything in. He made Big Etch look mint, dude. Like you, I mean, he didn't get the win. He eventually got taken out with Paradigm Shift, but or was it no? I think it was Death Rider.
Death Rider. Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, like Hechicero was just working him over the entire match.
Yeah.
And the match went about, what, 17?
18 minutes, something like that? Yeah, it was
I know it went
long.
over the 10. I want to say it was
close
past
to
the 15.
Yeah, they said they were like within a couple of minutes of the end of the time limit.
Yeah.
Like they were really close to it.
Yeah,
Because they brought it up a couple times during commentary.
It wasn't enough to have Justin Roberts announce how much time was left after the 10, but it was pretty close. It must have been at the 16 or 17.
Yeah, probably pretty close to that. Yeah.
But yeah, like he sold like a mofo for Hechicero, which made me so happy. You know what didn't make me happy? They changed Hechicero's music.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
I mean, I could maybe learn to like this, but like, dude, his original theme is such a banger.
Yeah.
It gets you pumped like crazy. I loved it. And now it's just another like, I don't know. That part made me sad, but at least the match made up for it.
Yeah.
Like Etch was just like, I don't think I've ever seen Mox sell this much for anybody. Like,
no.
like that percentage of a match. Like it's usually much more even, or even if he's on the back foot, it's at least like 60-40.
Yeah.
But like this was literally like 90 to 95% Hechicero.
Yeah. So yeah,
Mox coming. He started out strong and then he came back at the end.
Yeah, that was pretty much it
for like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
But like it was like one of those like flash wins. Like you kind of, it's not like blinking you missed it, but it was like Hechicero kind of walked into a mistake, and that was it. That's all it took. That was the story they were telling.
Yeah.
So afterwards, Big Take comes out. Mox bails though. So
yeah, Mox bails. They kind of jaw at each other from a distance.
Yeah.
But that was pretty much it. After that, Brody King kind of just shows up out of nowhere and gets on the mic and calls out Swerve. And then Nana comes out and is like, do you really want to do this, man?
And he's a heel now because instead of dancing, he's laughing maniacally.
Yeah, yeah. And then Strickland jumps Brody King from the back with a chain, and basically he had to send him. It says he has to send a message to. He had to send a message to Omega, and now he's gonna have to send one to Brody King. And then we go for, I think, like our ninth or 10th hanging spot in the
Yeah.
history of AEW. And like, look, guys, look. Eventually, one of these is gonna rub people the wrong way, and this one got pretty close to rubbing me the wrong way. I was like, come on, man. Like I understood, like, you really got to get after it to choke out Brody King. But holy crap, this looked really bad. Like,
I mean, that dude has a thick neck.
it was
So,
not well executed, I didn't feel like. I got the point, but like I don't feel like this was as well executed or as safely executed as it could have been. Especially being that there were like 3 or 4 like points of contact with the chain
yeah.
between Swerve's control of it and Brody King's, very human throat.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. A lot of this rubbed me the wrong way, and most of it was just like in the interest of safety more than anything. I was just like, man, like this does not look. It isn't safe. Okay, it's not. Like for those of you out there who don't
by
wrestle,
definition.
Yeah, for those of you who don't wrestle, shit like this is not something you fake. You can't fake this type of shit. Like Brody only looked as choked out as he wanted to look himself, of course, but you really got to put a chain around somebody's neck and you really got to apply some pressure to make it look like they're being hung by it. And then the person being hung has to do their part too. But combining those parts is like hanging yourself. It's not fun. It's not like acting as much as it is tolerating some very intense pain that's very dangerous. And it just set a lot of alarm bells off in my head just for that simple. Like, I understand this is for the sickos and shit, but guys, I mean, like, I'm a dad. These reactions come naturally to me. It's not I'm consciously deciding to be upset by what I saw. It's and analyzing it further to make sure that I have a reason to be upset. It's more of a, like, instinctually it was upsetting, so and yeah, I did analyze it further to see if I really do have a reason to be upset, and like, yeah, it wasn't that safe. It's not a good, like, there's other ways to get the message across without risking our lives, folks. Okay. And I mean, some people you can't tell that to, like Darby, you did, like, and he's just going to do what he's going to do. But
yeah, I do think that as a show of like good faith, I would look at it like that. Like, this is a guy who routinely hangs people with his own arms in a sleeper over the top rope and just lets them hang. So being willing to do essentially the same thing, at the very least, it's not a case of I wouldn't ask you to do anything I wouldn't do.
Yeah, of course it is,
but like, it's still a really dangerous thing to do.
Yeah, like, he's still really dangerous. Like, yeah, that's the thing. Like, Brody's sleeper over the top is far less dangerous, most because there's that single point of control. Yeah. Like, at any time he can bail on that and just let it go, and in the process of doing that, hold them up so they don't fall, or just let them fall to the foot it is to the ring apron or whatever from where they're at. So a little less dangerous, but at the same time, I'm like, chains are always tricky, man. Real things, chains, cinder blocks, things like that, always tricky situation. Like, because if you want it to look good, you can't gimmick and get fake versions of those things. No. They have to be real. Yeah. And as soon as you start adding real elements to this theater, consequences become more real for what you do. So I'm always worried when they bring in real shit, and I'm like, because I mean, if you're gonna make this look good, it's gonna have to be real, and like cool. There are guys who are willing to risk their bodies. I mean, I get it, but like at the same time, it's just maybe it is just my parental instinct that's like, man, why are you doing this to yourself? Like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm also like highly entertained by it. So it's a very inner struggle thing with me. Like my fatherly instincts are like, why? And my wrestling fan inside me is like, fuck yeah. And it's never going to change. That's never going to change. I know these guys are professionals and they do what they do. And I've worked with many of them, and I know they're professionals. I know that they're going to hurt afterwards, but they're going to be relatively okay for the most part.
Yeah.
But
professionals.
But it's hanging like we have to look at it like AEW has this like in the context of wrestling history. AEW has really been like well treated as far as hanging spots go, because like hanging and hanging spots in other companies, ECW, WCW, WWF, TNA, like those, there are some of those that have gone like PR wise and like publicity wise, like historically fucking bad. Like,
and
yeah,
crucially, those were all before 2007. Think about that.
Yeah.
Think about that. I remember being in Orlando for my Disney internship when I heard about Chris Benoit and what he had done. And I thought I would, as the story unfolded and we found out more details, like, well, you're not going to pull a big boss man in WrestleMania 2000 ever again.
No. That probably never
That's
happened
never happening again.
Yeah. There's a lot of things WWF did in the early 2000s that are probably never going to happen again. I'm
probably for the better.
I don't think anybody's going to have their father's body and coffin stolen at their own funeral ever again.
Man, that's too bad because that was hilarious.
Fucking hilarious. It was fucking gold. But it was like so distasteful, but so hilarious. Like,
yeah, I mean, the reason that it's funny is because it's the Big Show. Like, if it was just the boss man making off with the casket, that's horrific. The Big Show trying to stop it with his big 7 foot, 500-pound body launching itself onto the casket, almost making it, and then bouncing off and rolling away while crying for his... That is objectively hilarious.
Oh, fucking hilarious.
Objectively, hysterically funny.
I feel like the trajectory of his entire career as a monster big man could have been completely turned around in that moment by having him grab the coffin and dead ass stop the car.
Yeah.
Like, just grab that shit and the car just dead ass stops because he grabbed it. His entire career.
If they could have rigged it so that, like, time it right so that, I mean, it was pre-taped, so they could have, like, done some editing tricks or whatever. So have it be that you hide the car getting stuck in a divot or whatever of really wet mud, right?
Yeah.
So that the wheels can keep spinning as Big Show is hanging on to the back, so that it appears that he's stopping this car from going at full speed.
Yeah.
By the sheer weight of his body and his determination and his strength on their own.
Yeah.
That would have been a really cool visual. They chose to go a different.
They chose to fuck that up. But yeah, that could have changed his entire career trajectory.
Yeah.
Like, he would have went from joke to legitimate contender forever. And yeah, joke was where we kind of ended up, and everything after that. But yeah, after that, we have a Death Riders promo. And why is Daniel Garcia stealing lines from Mercedes Moné? Are you stupid or are you dumb?
I think she stole it from like a rap track or something. I don't think she came up with that. I think that she was parroting rather somebody in the hip hop community. I want to say that, but I'm not sure. I am very white, so I could be very wrong about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I swear I've heard. I mean, I've heard some. I had heard people say things to that effect before Mercedes, but I was like, but the fact that like Mercedes, that was a big thing that Mercedes did while she was active over the last few, the last year or two, and then now Daniel Garcia's coming out and doing it. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, wait a minute. Like somebody already laid claim to that in wrestling. Let's pick a different line, shall we? And this was a pre-tape, so I'm like, fuck, man, y'all couldn't just like hey, wait, stop, hold on, hey, no.
Yeah.
Mercedes does that. Like, you need to pick a different one, man. Like, figure it out. But yeah, it's kind of everybody kind of rotating. Yuta talking about his bald head and how apparently having his head shaved is his darkest day. Like, damn, dog, you haven't experienced much loss at all, have you?
No.
Apparently not.
I thought that the Death Riders would see to it that he would have experienced something darker than that, but
no shit.
apparently not.
Weren't you the pure champion at one point? Losing that wasn't worse than being bald. Like, I don't know. I have so many questions for Wheeler Yuta. Then we got a couple of lines from Marina about Tony Storm, and then Moxley, basically calling the entire Callis family a bunch of punk asses. So yeah. I guess we're still on, directly Death Riders versus Callis family. But like, honestly, the Don Callis family's fighting so many people. Like, how are they winning any of these battles? How?
No.
What is that?
That's the constant question that I have. Like, why, when the Don Callis family outnumbers the Death Riders probably more than 2-1, why are they taking any L's whatsoever? I get in the continental matches where everybody's barred from ringside under penalty of whatever kayfabe punishment they get. I understand that. That's fine. I accept that with the Continental title. But like, literally anything else.
Yeah.
Like, these are both two heel stables whose bread and butter is we're going to interfere in everything. So why are they not? Yeah. And when they do, why is the Don Callis family losing about 50% of the time when they should be winning about 100% of the time?
No idea.
Sheer outnumbers. Like, doesn't make any sense.
I have a feeling, like, I don't know. I the way this is going, there's gonna have to be some kind of like all-out battle between like AEW and the Death Riders coming together for some reason, and the Don Callis family. Like they kind of like they did with the Death Riders, like it's gonna have to be all of them against all the people who are currently against the Don Callis family against the Don Callis family. But I struggle. I'm like, we have Anarchy in the Arena, and that's like a 4-on-4 or a 5-on-5,
and that's probably going to be at Double or Nothing, which I am attending.
But we also have Blood and Guts, which is like a 4-on-4 or a 5-on-5. But this is going to have to be like what match are they possibly going to pull out for this? Because this has to be like a 10v10. Like, and I don't know if that I've ever seen a 10v10 wrestling match.
Would make history, probably.
I don't know that I've ever seen one.
Pay-per-view. I don't know if I have either. I know I've seen an entire roster versus two guys match before. I know where John Cena and Randy Orton just defeated half of the active roster with one move.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen that. I don't think I've ever seen a 10-on-10. I don't think it needs to be. I think you can otherwise you can involve the rest of the Don Callis family members in other matches. You can have Kazuchika Okada defending the international title against a Kevin Knight. You can do that and basically like have the Death Riders face a more or less, like, they wouldn't be facing the top three guys. They wouldn't be facing Takeshita, Okada, and Fletcher in that match. They'd probably get one of those guys in the match and four of the other Don Callis guys. Probably Lance Archer. Probably Mark Davis.
Josh Alexander.
Yeah, you'd have to put Alexander in there, and then probably Hechicero.
Yeah. But see, the problem that leads me to is what's to prevent the Don Callis from just the Callis family from just operating as normal throughout all those other matches and committing gang warfare across the entire card.
Yeah, like that's how you would have to do it. You would probably have to put, with the exception of anybody who may be defending their title, you may have to do like Okada loses or gets injured or gets otherwise chased from the building by his challenger after his match, so that he's out of the question. And then you have like the other guys, RPG Vice, and who's left? Jake Doyle's on the injured list. Whoever's left, have them in a big multi-man match on the 0 hour and have them get jumped. And take them out of the equation before Anarchy in the Arena ever happens.
Yeah, it'd have to be something, because like otherwise it's just, I feel like it's just business as usual, and that would be like not be the point of the event in this case. But yeah, so after that we've got our AEW Women's World Championship match, what should have been the main
actual main event.
Yeah, and Tekla, it always puts on a great show, so always good here. Thunder Rosa on her a continued streak of like this renewed like fiery level of wrestling that I had initially come to expect from her, and then kind of waned down a little bit in the middle of her tenure here in AEW, probably due to nagging injuries and shit like that she has now gotten to take time off and heal for, and is now operating way closer to 100% than she was over the last few times we saw her.
Absolutely.
And so I really fucking enjoyed this one, man. Like,
add to the fact that she really absolutely 100% transparently wanted to put on a show for the Texas crowd. With especially in El Paso, which like I would venture a guess and say that there's probably a large Hispanic population throughout the state, but especially on the border towns like El Paso, like,
the numbers
even more
way
prevalent.
Higher.
So
definitely majority past a certain point. Yeah.
So she had quite the fire lit under her. This was hard hitting. They really. There were a couple of instances where I thought they really knocked some teeth out. But that's how Rosa likes it, and that's how Tekla likes it. They like the contact. They both do, which is weird for somebody like Tekla when her spear like barely touches anybody. Which is why I'm glad that she went with the stomp. She's going with the curb stomp now as her primary finish, and the spear is more of a setup more often than not anymore. She hit her. The end came when she hit her Rosa with the spear. She had her down for a 3 count, but she actually was a mean girl and decided to take her shoulder off the mat, dish out more punishment, but got caught with a Fire Thunder driver for a really close 2 count. But hit another spear and then 2 curb stomps to put her away. Chris Statlander comes out. She had been, I don't know why she was dressed like the Terminator, but she was like, she was dressed like all in leather with the sunglasses and everything, and that'll come up later actually. And like she just, I mean, it was a good look for her. She looked she looked like an incredible badass. But like,
I need your motorcycle
she comes
and
out.
your clothes.
Yeah, she comes out and tries to get in there to tend to Rosa, but security holds her back. And then while they're holding her back, while everybody there is distracted, Tekla hits another curb stop on Thunder Rosa just to be a bitch. Like, oh, you mean, salty, toxic bitch.
Yeah.
I kind of love it. Like, is there anybody more on this roster who's more effortlessly cool than Tekla?
I don't think so.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, she just oozes cool.
After that, we've got a vignette with Jack Perry, reminding everybody that he pinned Ricochet and
again
that, it's time for him to finish the war. I imagine we're probably going to get like a couple of Elite v Demand type things after the FTR match. Still don't know how that all is going to go. I mean, are we going to get like 3 Elite guys being all champions? Maybe. After that, Renee Paquette's out with the crowd and she introduces Tommaso Ciampa. And, he's talking about how he's pretty pissed at Kyle Fletcher for fucking with his belt. And he'll go to war with Mark Briscoe if he needs to get back to that belt. But before he can kind of elaborate, FTR comes out and, they kind of fake hug Ciampa.
Yeah.
And Ciampa's like, well, I hated you 10 years ago and I hate you today.
Yeah. Yeah. It was... it was interesting. Like, I mean, if you know the history, they go way back to the glory days of Black and Gold era NXT.
Oh man, ooh.
And incredible matches with Ciampa teaming up with Johnny Gargano as DIY against FTR in a 3-match series that saw them trade the belts back and forth. And actually, no, wait. Yes, they did. They did trade the belts, I'm pretty sure. But the matches themselves were incredible, especially the 2 out of 3 falls match. I believe that was in Toronto, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, like, they never were on screen friends ever after that. It was very much they were just kept apart. They kept Ciampa in NXT for an inordinately long time, and by the time he was called up to the main roster proper, FTR was gone.
Yeah.
So they were there in AEW. So this is the first time that they've interacted in like 9 or 10 years on screen. Mm-hmm. So like when I saw this, I'm like, oh, this is interesting. I do like this. But yeah, like he just said, like, I didn't like you back then and I don't like you now. Like, and Dax said he'd see you on Collision, which initially it kind of perplexed me because it was like they're not having a match because they're defending the tag belts.
The one thing I really want to see is Gargano in AEW with Ciampa, because he has the work rate to be in that company. If WWE does a standard 5-year contract with everybody, that means Johnny Gargano will be available in 2027. So that's on the table.
Time to wait, though.
I know it's a little while to wait, but that's on the table, Tony. And you should be, dropping hints ASAP. Like, hey, maybe go to Ciampa and be like, hey, see if your buddy wants to come over here.
I would love it if Johnny Gargano came over. I think that he hasn't been able to show it recently, from what I understand, over the last couple even years, really. But like at his peak, he was pound for pound one of the best performers in the world. Yeah. And I'll gladly die on that hill if anybody actually wants to challenge me.
Yeah.
On that. I don't think it's a worthwhile fight. But yeah, I don't know. He just seems, I hate to use the term because it's so, there's so much animosity behind it. But like, he seems kind of fed pilled.
Yeah, a
Like,
little bit.
he seems really, really happy in WWE, even though last I heard, he's been given a narcolepsy gimmick or something. Like, that seems
He
a
got
waste
squashed
of
by
his
Obafemi
talents.
on Friday. So yeah, well,
I
yeah,
mean, to be fair, Obafemi looks like he does. Most people would get squashed by that guy.
yeah.
But yeah, no, it's disappointing. I don't anticipate it happening because I think
Nah.
that he's happy being labeled a WWE superstar.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Um.
It's wishful thinking, but I wouldn't
Yeah.
hold your breath on it.
But yeah, so Ciampa says he hated him 10 years ago. He hates him today. Stokely tries to interject, and he's like, "Hey, shut up! The adults are talking," which is always hilarious because Stokely is child sized. And then he's like, "I heard about you guys non-contact clause with the Young Bucks, but we didn't sign one." And he slugs Dax Harwood,
Yeah,
and I thought that was great. But
I like
we'll
how they turned it around on him. Dax and Cash used that excuse to bully Brandon Cutler, and then it got turned back around on them.
yeah,
Like, I thought that was a cool little like full circle deal there.
yeah. After that, we go backstage, and timeless Tony Storm grabs a camera and has it follow her where she goes to check on Orange Cassidy. But he basically said that they're going to be, fighting the War Dogs over the next few weeks, and basically they want to fight them at Revolution. But did we ever get to who a third guy is? Like, are they going to have a third guy?
I mean,
My money's
I
on
thought
Big
it would have been
Tom.
Mark. I thought it was going to be Mark Briscoe until
Yeah.
developments on Collision happened.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought so too.
I mean, that seems to make the most sense. But I mean, there's still conglomerators. They could find Roddy somewhere. Kyle, if Kyle's healthy, he could come back, help them out. I don't know. Like you said, Big Tom is an option. Although I heard that he somehow, and get this, injured his neck.
He has a neck?
That's what I said. Like,
Where?
I don't know. It's somewhere between his chin and his chest, I guess. But I don't know where he put it.
I want somebody to show me on the doll where Tomohiro Ishii's neck is. Because
The doll is just
bullshit,
a bowling ball.
right? Like, just show me where where his neck is at, because I don't know.
It's a
I'll
bowling
put him
ball
in
with angry eyes.
Put him in a turtleneck.
His face is completely
Yeah,
different.
just like covered. Oh my god!
No, but that's what I heard. He actually somehow suffered a neck injury of all things. So I don't know. I mean, it could be 2-on-2 like Finley and Gabe Kidd with Connors at ringside or something like that. But I think they'll probably wind up with a third. And I mean,
it would be nice if it was Roddy.
It would be nice if he came back around, you know. But my feeling is if it is him, it's probably to set up a double turn, or not double turn, double cross.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, you finally decided, to come back to the fold. No, I didn't. I came over to screw you again. But then this time he'll stick around. Yeah. Probably not as part of the Dogs, but probably. I mean, I could see him as a Death Rider.
Mm-hmm. I could see that.
I mean, the slaps that Marina gives Moxley before his matches would be nothing compared to the kinktacular 3-match ritual that Marina would give Roddy, I imagine.
Right. And after that, we've got our second main event with the AEW World Trios Championship. Don Callis family, Proto Okada and Mark Davis, or Proto Open, Proto Open,
Pro,
Proto
uh,
Okada. I don't know. Aussie Okada or something. I don't
Os,
know.
Osteopacata.
Oh God, I don't fucking know.
I
Anyway,
don't know.
these guys,
It's
Aussie
either
Open and a Kazuchika Okada.
Yeah, it's either Aussie Open and Kazuchika Okada or Proto Okada and Mark Davis. It's one of the two.
Yeah.
Either
And
way, I do feel like putting those three specifically was kind of an inspired choice, even though I don't really like the double champion deal, because it with the Proto Okada thing, just starting out and establishing that they have a natural chemistry as a tag team. Then you have Fletcher and Mark Davis, who have a very well established chemistry as a tag team. They instantly look like a threat to a trios title, even though they haven't had any trios matches together, even though they haven't done any of the work of climbing up any kind of ladder or whatever. They haven't done anything like that. They instantly look, between all that and the injury to Kevin Knight, and then the eventual full circle foreshadowing uh, uh, coming true of MJF interfering by hitting Hanger with the Dynamite Diamond Ring, like he asked for earlier.
yeah.
All of that leads to a very believable scenario that doesn't feel unearned. I'm glad Mark Davis has a belt too, because it was pretty obvious that they were going to give him something at
Yeah.
some point. And then when Doyle went down injured, like I don't think they were going to win the belts there necessarily, but maybe down the line. But then Doyle got injured, and then they put Mark Davis. They chose, instead of burying him like the last time his tag team partner, he was waiting on one. They instead decided to keep putting him on TV, and he maximized his minutes every single time out there for like 3 or 4 weeks solid. This is a great reward for somebody who's been doing incredible work. So good for him.
Yeah.
Good for Mark Davis. I'm happiest for him out of everybody.
Yeah.
But like now Okada is the former longest reigning Continental Champion. He never lost. He came into, think about this. He came into AEW. Within a month, he wins the Continental title. While Continental Champion, he wins the International title. But even though he loses the Continental title, he still has the International title. There has been maybe 1 month in his actual AEW career that Kazuchika Okada has not been strapped up with something.
Yeah.
And now they're adding another one.
I'm gonna say this, and
I love Okada, but he doesn't need that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it the way I'm gonna say it, and I know it's gonna create some people being like, "The fuck." It's okay. It's your prerogative. If what I say upsets you, okay, that's fine. But this shit is getting old. Okay, like the international title was like a work rate title, and then Okada got it, and we've done like fuck all with it. The fucking Continental Classic title, like that's a work rate title, and fucking thank God he is not the Continental Champion. The trios title, like I don't see these going anywhere for a while, and that upsets me because we were just building some trios momentum, and now we got the Dogs and the Rascals, and we got some real legit trios going, and suddenly we got trios champions who probably aren't going to defend those titles very often. And I'm just like, man, can we just like, I love Okada. Okay. But, and I understand like the respect that they're showing him as far as like his career, but like guys, like fucking come on. Like, I don't. This is the only part of this I don't fucking like, man. Is that it? Okada, man. Like you just like you shovel titles onto him and you don't do anything with him. He's like uh, even though he's not a placeholder champion, it's like he is because he's not like he's taken work rate titles and turned them into just something that he's got, man.
Yeah,
And
like he actually, I think, was better as Continental Champion than he has been as International Champion.
yeah, but I mean, I
Like,
compare like Orange Cassidy's
yeah,
international championship reign versus this, or
yeah, which
Pac.
was like what 11 months long, and it had like a defense almost every week
Sometimes
against
twice a
somebody
week,
new. Yeah,
sometimes three times a week because we had Rampage at that point.
yeah, like
Like, yeah, like we're talking, 52 weeks of title holding and like 150 something fucking defenses or something like that. And now
yeah.
Okada's had it for however long he's had it and has defended it, what, like four, five, six times, maybe seven?
He did. I guess he did show up at that first Ring of Honor studio taping and defended it against, I think, AR Fox.
Ah, yeah, but still has
But
it. Yeah,
yeah, it's
I
still
mean,
behind a paywall.
yeah, basically. And I'm just like, come on. Like, I don't have any complaints about Okada's work. Okay, I don't. Like, it's good. He has engaging matches that I'm more than happy to watch. My only problem is that like I feel like there's zero jeopardy for his titles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I love the guy, but yeah, like it's time to put him in some danger, like legitimate stakes.
Yeah. I
Um,
need Kunti Okada to turn into determined Okada.
I'm wondering who they're. It seems like they're waiting for somebody, and I don't know who it could be because Osprey definitely is not it. Because he's gonna, I guarantee you, he's gonna be challenging for the world title. He's gonna win the Owen, and he's gonna win it all in.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they have in mind for Okada, unless they want to run it back with Kenny one more time. But
Yeah.
like, I don't know. Like it just seems like it like you said, it's like he's got a title and he's spinning his wheels with it.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, other than that, I thought the special was great. I thought it was
Yeah,
really entertaining. I thought all the twists and turns, all the little bit of outside interference and all that shit. Like I thought it was all like I thought well done. I'm still very like the women should have main evented this show because that's kind of what you
mm,
told us at the beginning was that this was our main event was Tekla versus Thunder Rosa in El Paso, which made
yeah,
sense as a main event, and then you threw a wrench and I can't imagine I'm the only person, especially with that El Paso crowd, who felt that way, who was like, wait a minute,
yeah.
like,
Like I said at the beginning of this, we spent a lot of time reviewing this. But as I said at the beginning of this, I'm not upset about the the emergence of a show long narrative through line because they hardly ever do that, and everything they did to put that together was entertaining and made sense. I do wish it had come during a different show where it wasn't clear that the women were going to main event with the world title, and then it got bumped. You can call it a double main event all you want, but come on, we know better. One of the reasons a lot of us left WWE is because of their kayfabing us on, oh, it's one of like 17 main events of WrestleMania. Like, come on, don't kid a kidder.
yeah. So with that, I mean, Dynamite was good this week. Couple
Yeah,
little things I didn't really care for, but I mean, other than that, I mean, I thought I was thoroughly entertained either way.
yeah,
Um, and even the stuff I wasn't really, tuned into, like I was still entertained. So like like I was disappointed in this, but still entertained by it. So am I really? I don't know. With that, I mean, yeah, it was a good show. But with that, we got Collision from Tucson, Arizona. One of the rare instances where we are not doubling up on a city.
yep.
I guess, they are kind of swiftly making their way to the LA area since Revolution is, as of this recording, 1 week away.
Yeah. Next week we'll
And
be doing a watch along, guys.
yeah. And so we get down to Collision and lots to go through here. Collision seemed to have
Yeah.
more stuff going on than Dynamite did.
It was packed with stuff. I loved it. Opened it up with the Rascals versus FTR for the World Tag Team Championship. They had earned this spot a couple of weeks prior by picking up the upset in an eliminator match. This is the second eliminator match that FTR has lost in this reign. The first one was the Bang Bang Gang. Yeah, like, I don't understand why people don't like FTR and the work that they do when they're constantly elevating other people.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Nah.
But this match was so good. And special shout out to Zach Wentz.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, that dude was playing Ricky Morton almost as well as Ricky Morton. Like,
yeah.
That dude was playing excellent face in peril.
Yeah.
And Xavier was great on his hot tag. Finish came when the Rascals went for Hot Fire Flame, which I still don't understand. Like, that's got to be a reference to something I'm just not part of, because otherwise it sounds like a 7-year-old.
I must not be a part of it either, because I don't know that one either. Like, their whole gimmick is stoners. I'm literally a cannabis educated fucking stoner, and I don't have any fucking idea why they call it Hot Fire Flame. Like
it sounds like a 7-year-old made it up. So if one of our listeners, could you, if you know, please educate us. Is there some reference that we're not getting because we're in our 40s?
Let me know.
I don't know. But they go for Hot Fire Flame. But Harwood gets the knees up, and then FTR hit the weakest looking beat the E-Trigger I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah, dude, that thing was fucking terrible.
I think it was probably on purpose, too,
I hope
to make them look like bigger dweeb. Yeah. And you know what? Good on them for leaning into it. But then they go for a Meltzer driver to mock the Bucks, but they get cut off at the pass. But eventually, Wentz hits a handspring into the ropes and turns right around into a shatter machine.
That was a fantastic spot right there. I thought that was great. Like, it was
really,
fluid,
really well done.
Seamless as hell. Like, I was like, oh, he's about to get a hell of a backspring on these fools. And then, bam! I was like, oh!
Yeah. I saw him going.
Shatter machine out of nowhere.
I saw him going to do the handspring against the ropes, and I'm like, oh! And then a millisecond later, the camera shot changes, and you see Cash and Dax lining up. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Just out of nowhere, bam! Like, oh, it was so quick too.
Machine.
Like, so quick. I was just like, that was great.
Yeah, they escaped this one by the skin of their teeth, handing the Rascals their first loss since getting signed. They don't have, they make their way to the back, but on their way, Mark Briscoe's music hits, and they actually shake hands. Like, I was not expecting that.
No.
But Briscoe showed major respect to them. I think this was in response to they dropped the Briscoe's name in the segment on Dynamite with the Bucks, saying that those three teams, FTR, the Young Bucks, and the Briscoes, were the best tag teams of a generation, and they had beaten the Briscoes 2 out of the 3 times that they faced them, so they were the better men. So now all they have to do is beat the Bucks again, blah blah blah. So I think this was in response to that, but Mark was coming out to do commentary for the next match.
Yeah. But in between that, we go backstage to another confusing and kind of disappointing and slow plotting backstage segment with the Ops. Like, okay, so Hook put a random guy in the red room and then gave him like the weakest kick I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
like Orange Cassidy level, but not sarcastic. Um, I don't know about this, man. Like I kind of want Anthony Bones to join the ops and be a killer, but like I kind of think the way they're building this up is stupid, man. I like I hate to say it.
I
This is just dumb.
I think that all this is supposed to be acting as a way to get Hook some more experience doing things outside of his normal just in ring stuff. I
Yeah.
don't I just don't think he's like built for that.
No.
I don't think he's meant to be the face of anything. You know, like
Yeah.
he's just he's not a natural promo. And like it's funny if you were, he talked about, being captain of the wrestling team or whatever, and I feel like that there's stuff that you can mine there, but it's probably mostly in the form of him acting as a good coach at ringside.
Yeah.
I think
Like
that's probably more in line with his actual talents than being the face of the ops and going on these weird excursions to find randos in the back to beat up, to offer the chance to be in the ops if they can escape being choked out for some reason. And then I don't know. I do like the idea of Bowens joining the group. That I like. It gives him a direction, and I know that Anthony Bowens is talented enough to be the kind of character that the ops would require. In fact, if I am very comfortable predicting that he will embrace that aspect, that new aspect of his character, and run with the ball.
yeah. Yeah, see, I don't know. With Hook, he is every bit the badass his dad was at his age, like in ECW, like every bit the badass. Like he can throw anybody around, people 3 times his fucking size. He suplexed Big Bill. Okay, like we've watched it.
Yeah. Yep.
He can throw.
I
He
seen
like
it.
yeah, he's very much the badass that his dad was, even if he isn't as big as his dad was. What he doesn't have that his dad had was this over the top attitude in the promo. Like you can be that badass guy in the ring all you want, but in wrestling, it does not pay to be the low key badass guy, especially if you're trying to be a bad guy. Like he needs to go watch some of your dad's old tapes about how, like come on, like your dad told people survive if I let you, and we believed him. Like you need to ramp up that. Like you gotta be like like you're believable as a badass. Ramp it the fuck up.
Yeah.
Be over the top in your promos. This low key like street kid gangster thing. That attitude doesn't work. It doesn't translate well in wrestling. It just doesn't.
I don't take any pleasure in saying that either.
No,
I want
I don't.
Hook to succeed.
Yeah, I do.
I don't think this is the way to get it from him.
Yeah. Yeah. So after that, we've got Mark Briscoe on commentary, and he's on commentary for Daniel Garcia versus Tommaso Ciampa, which
this match was awesome.
Wasn't it?
I loved this match. So
yeah,
Danny Garcia looked more dangerous in this match than he has in months.
Yeah.
He looked way better in this match than he did in his relatively recent TNT title match with Briscoe. Like that match was much more even. Tommaso just let Danny beat him up.
Dude, yeah.
It was great to see somebody give like that. And Danny gets the upset after getting Mark Briscoe's face on commentary. He goaded him into accidentally interfering, costing Ciampa the match. That's a huge win for Danny.
Yeah,
he hasn't had many singles wins since joining the Death Riders.
Yeah,
like most of his wins have been in multiple like 6 and 8 man tag situations. He
Yeah.
hasn't had a lot of single success. So this kind of thing justifies why he's with the Death Riders in the first place.
Yeah.
Like anybody can join a team and then get, a bunch of success as part of like a trio or an 8-person team, because anybody can always just say, you know what, he only did a fraction of the work. He wasn't, he wasn't the driving force behind that team. When it's one-on-one, using, presumably the tactics that he learned by being a part of the Death Riders and doing it alone. It was almost like a Continental title match. There were no Death Riders at ringside. Not even Marina was there. He did it all on his own. Like he goaded Briscoe into getting involved, but he did it on his own. He didn't need Yuta. He didn't need Claudio or anybody. Like, it was relatively clean in that respect, which is unusual for the Death Riders. I feel like this could be a good launching pad for Danny to get back some of that momentum that he had been missing out on as a singles guy since joining the Death Riders. But in the in between time, this match was awesome.
Yeah. After the match, FTR begins to make their way to the ring. And they
making good on their promise to see Ciampa at Collision.
Yeah, and they kind of get in Ciampa's face, and Briscoe comes to kind of back him up, and then things cool down a little bit. Ciampa pulls Briscoe back to the top of the ramp, and then runs him into the video boards.
Yep.
And
it's like it was beat for beat what he did to Gargano.
Yeah. He
it was like
as soon as knee him in the face, and then wiped his bandana on his ass, his actual ass, not just the ass of his trunks.
Yeah, like gross.
Yeah, gross.
I thought this was great because they still gave you enough doubt that it wasn't coming, that it was reasonable doubt. Like as soon as you saw him put his hand around him as they were backing up the ramp, you're like, okay, he's going to turn on him. But leading up to that, because Briscoe and Ciampa during this match had kind of a let's go moment at ringside where they were on the same page before Danny got involved. Mm-hmm. Then Danny gets involved. Mark accidentally costs Tommaso the match, and then they get in a fight, like a verbal argument in the ring as Briscoe's trying to apologize. He holds out his hand, but Tommaso doesn't accept it. And that's when FTR comes out, and Mark, who's already like halfway up the ramp, goes back and basically like doubles down on how sorry he is. Yeah. And shows him, I'm willing to back you up against these guys. FTR back down, but don't leave the ring. Let the baby faces leave. So you think that, okay, maybe they've patched this up and it's fine. But then as soon as he puts his arm around his shoulder, like, oh, nope, here it comes. Here it comes. I know exactly what's going to happen. And exactly what I thought was going to happen happened. And as somebody who deeply loved that era of NXT, I absolutely loved the hell out of this. I adored the callback.
Yeah.
Loved it. It's like, this is what Ciampa does. There's a reason he's a psycho killer. And it was so smart in retrospect because you bring him in, this kind of a signing is always going to get over. They're always going to be a babyface at first because they came from the other place. They came from the bad place, right? They chose to come here. They're always going to get babyface cheers. So ride that out for a few weeks and then, get the fans on your side and then turn on them by turning on somebody that they love just as much, even more, really. Like, everybody loves Mark Briscoe. Mm-hmm. A brilliant way to get the most out of Tommaso Ciampa in a 1 month period. His booking has been immaculate. Kudos, Tony. Yeah. Fantastic job.
After that, we've got Swerve versus Gravity. which I honestly thought was going to be more than what it turned out to be.
It was somehow more and also less.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was either going to be more competitive than I thought or a complete squash. And it was unfortunately somewhere in between and middling.
Yeah, and not really. I didn't feel like in a good way either. Like I get what we're doing here, but at the same time, I was like, I mean, that's Bandito's brother, right? Like,
Yes.
so
Yes.
we don't. I mean, I'm okay. I guess Rodito adjacent, but I don't know. I don't know. It's weird to me that this is who they picked for this. I mean, I guess it makes sense because we don't have like a Buddy Murphy or anything, and it definitely ain't
Right.
going to happen to Buddy Murphy like that. Speaking of
No,
which,
Buddy
where the
Matthews
fuck is he?
I don't know. Like, I think maybe what happened to him is the same thing that happened to Adam Cole. Like, he's been out for a year with a broken ankle. I'm wondering if they're gonna have to dig up a corpse and put a bone in his leg too. Like,
Maybe I don't know, man. I hope he comes back soon. It'd be nice if he showed up this
me
weekend
too.
and cost swerved the match.
Yeah.
Or even Brody for that matter. Either way, really.
Yeah.
But I other my one bugaboo about this, you know what it was. You know what it was. If you watched it, you know what I did not like about this match, and it was leave this leave the fucking mask alone. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it. Like just fucking stop it. Like you're gonna make me I'm gonna get a fucking aneurysm or a fucking stroke one day because of you motherfuckers fucking ripping people's masks off. I'm looking at YouTube, Gunther.
I was just gonna bring that up. I heard that he completely unmasked.
Completely took it off. Yeah, Dragon Lee had to have consented to that, but I still don't like it.
Yeah.
After that, we've got Terminator Stat backstage. And it looks like she wants a 2 out of 3 falls match with Tekla at Revolution, which is what we're gonna get. And then we get a Tekla response pretty much directly after that. And I'm gonna say this, all right. As impressed as I am with Tekla, as awesome as she's been on the mic and promos lately, as awesome as everything has been, this was not awesome. Okay. The
She
first
picked
half
it up
of
by the end.
Oh yeah.
The first half was. Rough.
The second half of this promo was all right, but the first half of this promo gave serious "You Don't Know Me" Marina vibes, and literally that whole like where she couldn't say anything but no for like 5 whole minutes had my wife going, they're really trying hard to make her a thing, huh? And I was like, well, I mean, she already is a thing, but I understand what you mean watching this particular thing we're watching right now. I was like, man, that was like like I said, she picked it up at the end, but man, oh man, was that beginning a rough ride, bro. I was like, what are you doing? Like, can you just not think of any place to start beyond the word no? Like, I don't know, like slowly walk to the ring, glare at the crowd, take some time to think. You have a expressive face that you can use, and that will translate well to the crowd and on TV. You can just slowly make your way to the ring. But act like the cocky, toxic person you are and just waste their time. You're the women's world champion. You could spend 5 minutes of TV time walking down the fucking rampway acting like an asshole. Yeah, they wait on you. Exactly. But no, she decided to just say no over and over again. Like, it was irritating my wife while she was watching it. Like, no bullshit. Like, it was just like, is she going to say anything else? And then she started saying it in other languages. And I was like, maybe still say something different. Like, but I mean, yeah.
I mean, it was
at the end, she brought it up, but yeah.
It was to set up a change of heart, which you don't often see in the middle of a promo, which was an interesting choice. The worst part of it wasn't even her stumbling at the beginning, though. The worst part was the one chance.
Oh, God.
Can we leave those behind?
Stop that
please?
shit. Leave that Fed-pilled shit at the Fed. All right?
Yeah, just can we leave that behind? It was funny in 2001 because it was Stone Cold doing it.
Yeah. It was
And
funny
then,
shortly thereafter when it was like Stephanie getting the treatment or Triple H or Vince. Like if one of them was
when
getting
they
the
were
what treatment,
baiting
they
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like you're not like leave that shit. That's like look. I'm a CM Punk fan. Leave those fucking CM Punk chants at home. All right.
Yeah.
Leave fucking what at home. And if you're going to an AEW show, leave your Fed bullshit at home. Okay. I'm sorry, but like this is not like leave that at home. If you're a MAGA person, stay home. Okay. But it's what it's like fucking leave that shit where it belongs. If you want to do a what chant, buy a ticket to Raw. All right.
Yeah.
If you want to chant for CM Punk, same shit. All right. Like just leave that shit over there, man. Like that's part of the reason why it's different over here. And now I get it. You're deep ass Texas. You're in like a Latino heavy lucha crowd where anybody in that crowd who makes over 60K a year is probably a Republican. Okay, El Paso is going to be a little bit of a different than typical. Texas crowds are going to be a little bit different than an AEW typical crowd.
Well, this wasn't even in Texas. This was Tucson.
Oh, this is Tucson. Oh, even worse then. Even worse because Arizona is just basically like a little version of Texas, but more fascist. Yeah, I challenge someone.
Fits,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, I challenge you if you're from Arizona, I challenge you to prove me fucking wrong about that. But y'all elected Joe Arpaio multiple times, and you can't lie to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the Nemenes were in front row, so we can ask them.
Yeah, we can ask them, but I mean that they got to be like rare exceptions in that whole state, like straight up. Like appreciation to them for being who they are, but like yeah, they're rare exceptions for like the type of crowd in some of these states. Now, but still, it kind of stands because Tucson, Arizona in general, probably a very large lucha crowd, you know, but still probably the 60K barrier between conservatism and Democrat. Either way, leave that shit, leave the what shit at home, leave the CM Punk shit at home.
It's not what we do here.
We don't do that here. It's just we just don't do that here. I thought this shit was over in the early days of AEW when people were getting booted from the venue and banned for life for having shitty signs about Nyla Rose. Yeah. Like I thought we understood where we stood and we were past this type of bullshit, but here we are. Yeah. So yeah, stop with the what chance. After that, we got a preview of Renee Paquette and John Moxley's interview that's on their YouTube channel. So I guess I'll have to go check that out. Tomorrow or no, Tuesday. I gotta wait till Tuesday still to see that. Bullshit. If they're gonna show me a promo on, I should be able to like stop the show and go right then and go check out the YouTube channel. It should be there. Yeah. Maybe that's the music industry guy in me. After that, we have my very favorite match
stipulation. It's bad.
Why do they keep doing this to me? Like Tony Khan, I swear this must be like I'm gonna do this and then I'm gonna listen to that podcast and see if that guy bitches and then I'm gonna laugh so hard because fuck yeah, I'm gonna bitch. So it's like
that would be so funny if that was the actual.
But I am. If it was one of these days, I'm going to find out it is. But now here's my beyond that stipulation. My only problem with this match. Okay, ready for this? This is my only problem with this match. How come we had to have this match for me to see Private Party and LFI and Swirl and the Outrunners? How come I had to have this match to get Dalton Castle on commentary? That definitely needs to happen more often.
Definitely. That dude, I'm so glad he had that opportunity.
This is the second time I've heard him on commentary, and this is the second time I was thoroughly entertained and just enjoyed the shit out of myself.
I feel like he just doesn't get as much exposure as he should because he's so entertaining. I've been a fan of this guy for years and years. You know, he frequented the upstate New York indies. You know, like he was a mainstay in 2CW. So like I witnessed this guy for a long time. So happy when he was in he got ROH to give him a contract. When he was he won the world title off of Cody. Like I've watched this guy's career for a long time, and the way that he's been not featured in AEW has been really a sad thing for me. So this was a really, really cool moment for me. Like he was spouting one-liners all over the place, dude. There was nothing he was unprepared for.
Is it
Talking
weird?
about using the $200,000 that the Outrunners could win to buy succulents
Dude,
over and over again.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Is it weird that like this is like one of the only characters who can be like overtly and blatantly like homoerotic, and it's not like sometimes when people are like that level, like it kind of borders on creepy, but with Dalton Castle somehow he's immune to that.
He finds his way to the ever exclusive Venn diagram where like creepy and like sexual, they overlap, and in the middle is that sweet spot where you find eccentric.
Yeah,
eccentric.
He's just eccentric, but I don't know. He does not put me off with creepiness when he talks like that, because I just find it funny most of the time. Like the way he talks about oiling up the Outrunners and shit like that, fucking hilarious. Like I was laughing my ass off.
Because he says it earnestly. He doesn't say it with a wink and a nod. He's not like, I was with the boys. Like he's like, no, I was with the boys. I was oiling them up. Like they need to get ready.
Like factual. Help. It was factual.
Yes.
You know, like
plainly, matter of factly.
I love it. I don't know. I am so thoroughly entertained by Dalton. I am entertained by Dalton Castle on like the same level that I was entertained by like Rhett Titus.
Yeah.
I love him in the same way that I loved Rhett Titus, man. Like and
to love Rhett Titus.
And I'm a little bit upset that the last time I saw Rhett Titus, he was not addicted to love Rhett Titus.
Yeah, he left that behind a long time ago.
I need him to go ahead and put that bow tie back on and bring his ass to AEW full time. I would be totally okay with that. Yeah. After that, we've got first of all, Private Party. And this match was fucking fantastic. We talked so much about Dalton Castle, but like the match was fantastic. Fucking Private Party gets the win. I definitely didn't call that. Yeah.
New finish with the Doomsday Cutter.
That shit was pretty cool. I like that.
Also, Mark Quinn looks yoked.
Yeah, like
holy cow.
That man is definitely spending his off time in the gym. Like, my guy. Like, he definitely is like, it looks like. So one of the problems when you have a tag team of two high flyers is that you need a base guy. It's like a cheerleading team. You need a big dude.
Yeah.
And it feels like Mark Quinn has made that decision. And it's a positive for their career to remove, because I mean, let's be real. Isaiah Cassidy is the better flyer of the two of them by a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So if Mark Quinn decides, okay, less flying, more base, I need to be bigger, I need to play the big man in this group, that's a good thing.
It's like with the Martins, Dante's the flyer and Darius is the base. Yeah.
And Darius looks like he has definitely been packing on the pounds.
I wonder if they both teams made this decision together.
I wonder. Or maybe they had this exact discussion. Like, there needs to be a big guy in each team. And one of y'all and one of us is obviously the better flyer, and like, and that's no disrespect to either of the big boys. That's like none at all. They both have actually proven themselves to be proficient flyers. If they gain the size and can still fly, that's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
That's going to up their stock 1,000 times. So, like you can play the big guy and you can fly. Like, oh no, that's the Takeshita. That's the Takeshita formula. Yeah. Like you can play the big guy and you can just absolutely stomp the shit out of somebody, but also I can come at you over the top rope. You have nowhere you can escape. You know, like
Nope.
but yeah, thoroughly entertained by this, and happy for Private Party for getting the dub on TV. Again, their new fresh 200K. Hope you guys enjoy that. After that, we've got Jet Speed ready to refocus backstage with Lexi there, but we kind of have Swerve kind of creeping.
He comes in and he tells Kevin that he needs to be a killer. Like every time that you've had your neck on your opponent, you couldn't finish the job.
Yeah,
but they also managed to hype up Mike Bailey's upcoming TNT title match with Kyle Fletcher.
Yeah. Now, this is another thing, and kind of my main bugaboo about the Kevin Knight heel turn that seems to be impending is that you're gonna have to turn on Speedball. There's going to be a subsection of fans that are never going to forgive you for that.
Well, he's probably banking on that.
I still have a hard time forgiving Chris Statlander. And this is like the dude version of Willow Nightingale. Like, you're about to turn on the literal best person.
Yeah, I see it happening though, and I see them using Bailey's win over Knight in the Continental Classic as a base to jump off from.
Maybe.
It's like, yeah, you beat Okada. Yeah, you beat Darby. You didn't beat me.
Yeah. After that, we go to an earlier filmed backstage thing where Renee Paquette's trying to talk to the AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions, and they're attacked by Megan Bayne and Lena Cross, who just kind of lay them out.
This is bad. Actually, it looks real fake.
Yeah,
it was too. These backstage things, they need to look more like you're actually getting jumped. Like, you can throw a wrestling move in there, not here and there, but this looked pure sports entertainment. It just looked fake.
Yeah.
Like in a way that
and I honestly, this was another disappointment for me, but I feel like they doubled down on the bad and then had these two have a tag team match with the Timeless Love Bombs and beat them. And I'm not opposed to people losing. Though. I'm not opposed to people losing, but I'm also like, that segment was not good, and nobody, somebody, like, that shit passed all the layers it has to pass backstage to get on TV. And then you're going to give us a match that I feel like Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa tried their damnedest to make like a serviceable AEW level match out of this, and there was
throw Megan Bayne in there too. She was trying. I think Lena is looks very impressive, but she's still pretty green. Like, to the point, and this perfectly encapsulates it too. Like, because during the ad break, I watch on Triller, so I see everything. Now that I don't have access to HBO Max, I watch during the ad breaks, and two different, at the beginning of the ad break and the second, and the right before they came back from the ad break, Lena Cross used the same move on a sliding lariat on, I think it was Mina.
Yeah.
At two different ends of the ad break. It wasn't like, I did this and I'm going to do it again for emphasis. It was, I did this, I did a bunch of moves and then I don't really know what else to do, so I'm going to do this move again. It was telling. Like, I don't know if I'm explaining it properly, but like, there's just things that, like, even if I'm not in the business, but even I I've been around it, absorbed in it for the vast majority of my life. I know a couple of things, and I know that when you do that, that's a sign of I don't know what to do. That's not a sign of I'm going to keep on doing this because it works.
Yeah.
It was, if they were in succession, I would be like, oh, she's just working over. She's showing her power. She's showing I can do whatever I want. No, with all that stuff in the in-between, no, that's not how wrestling works. It's not how wrestling psychology works. Like, that's, so it showed to me, like, they signed her, and they were right to sign her. But, like, they were also right to put her in a tag team with somebody who can carry, like Megan can. And, I know that you're not as high on Megan as I am, but I think even you have to agree with me that Megan tried her damnedest to make Lena look as good as possible.
Oh, yeah, she tried.
She carried the weight for that match. I look forward to seeing Lena grow as a performer. I hope that they don't rush the belts on her before she's ready.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Mm-mm.
Putting a belt on somebody doesn't automatically make them better. It puts them in a position where they could get better, but it's kind of a 50-50 shot, and it's not going to automatically make her better. It didn't make Jade any better, really.
Mm-mm.
I mean, look at how much she's struggling in WWE as champion. She is not, reportedly anyway, not doing all that hot.
Yeah. Both companies gave her that belt before she needed it.
Yeah. So, I mean, at least in AEW, they did their best to hide her faults. WWE is not as forgiving.
No.
So, this match was it was fine. And that pains me. Me, I love Mina. I adore Tony. But, like, even they couldn't save this from being any better than fine. It looks like the heels are going to lose, but out of nowhere, Marina Shafir shows up on the outside and drags Toni Storm underneath the ring with the mother's milk, and leaving Shirakawa to get a jackhammer for the pinfall. I will say, jackhammer, good choice of finish for Lena.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you're gonna have somebody that it's really good to have somebody that tall doing a jackhammer, because the taller you are when you do it, the more impressive it looks when you can hold somebody up like that, because they're higher in the air.
Yeah.
So, like, it's a good choice for her, given her she's like 6'2" or whatever.
After that, we got backstage with Mark Briscoe, and he's pissed. And
yeah, he is.
So right now he's got it looks like we're probably going to get Briscoe and Ciampa probably at Revolution again, but for now on Dynamite we've got Ciampa and FTR versus Briscoe and the Bucks. Dem Bucks. Okay.
I like it. Dem Bucks.
After that we have a mugging.
Yes. I will say this. We already had our Giant Condor of the week. This is a close second, though, because holy cow, the dogs just completely demolished these guys.
Mm-hmm.
It was, like you said, it was a mugging.
Yeah.
It was a mugging in 1970s New York in a back alley is what it was. Like, it was just ruthless.
Terrible. So yeah, we got at least we got to see Finley's overkill knee finisher, which was fucking disgusting.
Yeah, they picked a good guy to do it on. He sold it like a mofo.
Yeah. After that, we've got we're about to have the main event, but Toni Storm appears on stage and calls out Marina Shafir for Revolution. So it looks like we're gonna get that with
Challenges her to have nobody at ringside.
everyone banned from
Everyone
ringside.
banned. Which leads to me, if Tony's going to win.
Yeah.
Tony's going to win.
Usually
I'm
the
just
face
glad
wins in a situation like that. So yeah.
I'm just glad that she's a big enough star now that she's forcing Tony to book women's matches on a pay-per-view that don't revolve around the title.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's a big step. That's a bigger step than people would probably give it credit. But that's a big step. You know, and it's totally based on her star power alone. It's the only reason it's happening is because you got to give something for Tony, you know. So, but yeah, good for her.
Yeah, after that, we have a little clip of Persephone winning the CMLL World Women's Championship from Mercedes. Which then they say that Persephone gets a shot at the TBS Championship against Willow on Dynamite. I think maybe Mercedes shows up and probably costs Persephone that match or gets Willow disqualified or something like that. Because I don't think the title's going to change hands.
I don't either. No. Yeah.
And after that, we got our main event for Collision, which is Konosuke Takeshita versus Claudio Castagnoli, and this was everything I wanted it to be.
Oh, big meaty men slapping meat.
Oh yeah.
Just these two can just main event every show from now on, and I'd be happy.
Yeah, I'd be fine with it.
Yeah, like this is great. I feel like another win for Jon Moxley being on commentary too.
Oh yeah, love it.
His reactions are so in the moment. Like he's just so locked in right now. It's really great. This one does have unlike their previous match, this one does have a definitive winner when Takeshita he countered a neutralizer into a Hurricane Rana, and then he rolled back, or it was a Hurricane Rana that was rolled through, but he came back with the power drive knee and then hit Raging Fire for the pin. Big deal. Is a real big deal. He beat the guy that he couldn't beat beforehand. So I don't know who takes it. Like, they've been building Takeshita up.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, on paper, both of these guys are heels because they're in heel stables, but they're the baby faces, the lone baby faces in each heel stable, as far as the fans are concerned. So it's a really weird dynamic going into this match. I think Mox probably takes it if the plan is for him to eventually drop it to Kyle. If that was never the plan, or the plans have changed, I could see Takeshita getting it here. I really could. I think even, it would only be his Mox's second actual Continental title match of this reign, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be against somebody who he went the limit with the first time. But even taking that in consideration, with all the eliminator matches, wrestling every week, even if he's not in an eliminator match, he's usually in a tag match. Like, the dude has been putting in the work and really, really making that Continental title mean something. So even if it is time to move it to Takeshita, I think this short reign will have been looked on in retrospect as a not only really, really important, but a really successful Continental title reign for Jon Moxley.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, also Hechicero got involved in this match to prevent Claudio from cheating. I nearly forgot that. And then afterwards, Etch was gonna he assaulted Moxley when Takeshita got in his face, and Takeshita's all like, "Why did you do that? That was not necessary." And
Yeah.
then an all-out brawl. It was like an episode of WCW Monday Nitro from like 1997, like where everybody's fighting and they go off the air without any conclusion. It was a really cool week of AEW television because they were doing things that they don't normally do, and doing them successfully. So, yeah, I think overall it was just, man, it's a great time to be a fan of this company.
Yeah, dude. I'm having a lot of fun watching AEW every week right now. Like it's very good, and the matches are top tier. Like next week's pay per view has got a lot to live up to. I'm expecting
Yeah.
a lot out of it. Like it's pretty awesome.
Well, I guess there's only one thing left to do, except there's two things left to do. Isn't that right?
That's correct.
We are introducing a brand new segment, very short segment, but we have noticed, as I'm sure you all on Blue Sky have noticed, that every single week AEW Dynamite and or AEW Collision wind up trending on the nights that they're on. There's a very active Blue Sky community surrounding the AEW fandom. We talk about it a lot. I usually wind up not actually participating in that, mostly because I never catch the shows live. I don't know. I feel it's weird to be live streaming or live posting on something that isn't happening live, because I always feel like I'm behind and be like, yeah, we already went over this, bro. But inevitably, the next day, somebody from outside the fandom, usually somebody who has like resistance Democrats or something in their bio, will have a really, really bad take regarding the fandom of professional wrestling in general, usually lumping us all in as one monolithic subculture, when really that could not be further from the truth. So in our minds, this happens every single week. We're going to lowlight, not going to highlight, we're going to lowlight our particular straw man, who is going to be we're going to call him Ship Lidman. And this week's Ship Lidman was briefly the main character of Blue Sky yesterday. So I'm going to read what they said, and then I'm going to let you know who they are. One quick way to get muted by me, they say, is to post about professional wrestling. I love sports, but that shit is absurd. It's not sports. It's cosplay masquerading as sport. I can't take it or its fans seriously. Now, the reason I bring this one up, it unfortunately has 164 likes. That's bad. It has 454 comments at this point in time. Every single one of them, from my eyes, is negative. It has 480. It has more quotes than it does comments. 482 quotes. I have to imagine most of those are negative as well. So she got ratioed, which is great. What do you think this person does for a living? If you were to just guess what this person does for a living.
No idea.
This person is a CEO for Center for Employment Justice, former Democratic congressional nominee in Florida, former JAG, and quote-unquote all the way liberal Pam Keith.
Ugh.
And I cannot... I think there's only really 3 words to really describe how I feel about this take. Shut up, bitch. For real.
uh,
I mean, we're gonna low light these people, and we're just gonna tell them in so many words, shut up, bitch. Week after week after week, because these people will never understand. They will never attempt to understand. Their only job is to rile us up. So if they want us riled up, that's fine. I'm going to give them their brief, fleeting moment of notoriety, and then they can kindly shove off. Pam Keith, everybody, this week's shit libman.
Yeah, shove off your twat. Yeah, like, you don't get to tell me what's sport and what's not, because I've competed in what you would consider legitimate sports and wrestling, and that's all legitimate sport. Fuck off.
All the way liberal Pam Keith can't get why somebody might like something that's literally like one of the gayest things ever. can't understand it. Oh, it's ridiculous. Oh, it's absurd. It's like, yeah, it is, and that's why we like it.
Right?
I'm sorry that you are a boring person with boring interests. Like, wrestling is better than the things you like. And I don't think that's a hot take on a show that's all about wrestling and
No, not at all.
caters only to wrestling fans and whose listener base is, only wrestling fans. But it's true. I'm going to say it again. Pro wrestling is better than the things you like.
It
So
100% is. Whatever
it's
it
a
is you
big
like.
tent, and whenever Pam Keith, you decide to actually open up your mind and change your tune and give AEW specifically a shot, we will welcome you in with open arms as long as you apologize. Kiss it. Apologize.
Yes.
Rest in peace, Jesse Jackson. Or rest in power, I guess, is the custom. Yes.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not my customs. I just want to get it right. But with that is this week's Ship Libman, fake liberal, anti pro wrestling hater of the week. Now, with that, there is only one thing left to do. We know what that is.
We got to do like the pros do and call it in the ring.
That's right. Last week got me thinking, because with all of the discourse surrounding Danhausen and how he's for some reason a divisive figure, a lot of the complaints that I heard from him, from people who are sad or who are glad to see him leave AEW, was that he wasn't a very good wrestler. And that got me to thinking, like, what makes a wrestler good? Like, to me, there's a lot of things that go into pro wrestling. There are a lot of aspects of the job that you can be, good or bad at. That you can be good at all of them. You can be good at only one of them. What makes a wrestler good? So, like, I'll open it up to you, Aaron. What do you think? I feel like there are multiple angles that you could attack this question from, that you could answer it from. What is your immediate take?
Well, I mean, my immediate take is, what kind of good do you mean?
Yeah, that's a valid question.
Because I mean, are we talking like, what's a good technical wrestler? What's a good character wrestler? What's a good lucha? What's good strong style? What's good between WWE and AEW, or various other promotions? What's good in America? What's good in Mexico? What's good in Japan? What's good in India? What kind of good are we talking about? Because I mean, what kind of good it is determines what makes them good. Because like, for a luchador, are they technically proficient? Can they high fly? Are they, able to connect with a crowd without facial expression? How's their gear? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Same thing for like a technical, like a traditional American technical wrestler or a traditional British technical wrestler. Slightly different forms of technical wrestling, but very similar. What makes one or the other good? Strong style, the same thing. Like when they hit people, does it look real? Can they effectively make a match look like they're legitimately hurting someone? Um, for character wrestlers, are they a good promo? Are they entertaining to the crowd without physical combat simulation? Um, it really just depends on what kind of good. What makes a wrestler generally good? Do they have the it factor? Are they do they feel like they belong? Because that's a thing. And something I noticed this week, like kind of like where I was going with like Hook needing to be more over the top like his dad. Like Hook almost seems like a little too legitimate sport for this theater. You know.
Yeah.
So is he good? Yeah, he's a good
Yeah.
wrestler, but is he good like on the mic? Not really. So would he be considered like a great or even just good? He's a good wrestler, but there's more to it than that. And
Yeah.
it's the other stuff that he struggles with. Um there's a few other examples we could use, but he's like kind of a prevalent one that's easy to come up because it's recent, the kind of examples that I'm thinking of. But yeah, but really what makes a good wrestler is like I think it's a combination outside the ring entertainment plus work rate.
Yeah.
And I think that's generally true as a basis for all kinds. Because like, are you good in the ring and are you entertaining out of it? It's kind of the big two, no
Yeah.
matter what type you're looking at.
I in thinking about this all week, uh I kept coming back to, what other prominent wrestlers think about this question. Uh Bret Hart, who you and I respect like more than nearly anybody, uh I always go back to an interview that he had where he was like, you rate him on like a 3-point scale. Like to him, you know, how good are your matches? How good is your look? And how good are your promos? And so like that's his three criteria. So like he would grade himself maybe a 10 in the ring, maybe a 7 for his look, and maybe a 6 on his promos or whatever. So not even
Yeah.
Bret Hart, who claims, to be the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be, on his own scale, he doesn't even rate himself perfect in everything.
Yeah.
And who, he hated Hulk Hogan, but he was still willing to be like, yeah, that dude had a 10 look and a 9 promo, but he was like a 3 wrestler.
Yeah.
Like, the so like that speaks to the combination of things, and that's coming from one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah.
The other one that I keep coming back to is something that you didn't even touch on is, and I hate to bring up this guy because I freaking hate this guy, but and especially since he stopped wrestling and started grifting, but Bully Ray brings up at least an interesting conversation worthy point. In his eyes, the best wrestler is the one who draws the most money. Now, from a pure business standpoint, yeah, there's an absolute logic to that. Would I go out on a limb and say that John Cena was the best wrestler of all time? No. Because there are other factors, right? Like,
Yeah.
If it was that simple, then the consensus would be that, the Mount Rushmore would be The Rock, Hogan, Austin, and Cena. When based purely on monetary value, right? And have drawing power. But I don't think it's that simple, right?
Right.
Because if they were the best, then everybody universally would like those guys. Because it would be a simple criteria that people could agree on. But it's not that simple. Because people like different things. People want different things. And I think, ironically, to me, that's what brings it down to an actual consensus point. And that is, while there are many avenues to get to this point, and there are many ways to accomplish this task, the most important thing to determine a good wrestler is one who connects with crowd. It doesn't matter whether it's through the moves that they do. It doesn't matter whether that's through their selling and their bumping. It doesn't matter if it's their personality, their in-ring charisma. It doesn't matter their mic skills. It could matter their social media presence. It doesn't matter how they do it. As long as you make that, I know it's so cliche and it's such a WWE answer, but it's true. They're not wrong all the time, guys. It's true. The connection to the audience ultimately is what makes people attached to them.
Yeah.
People aren't going to agree anybody is good if they don't connect to them. It's the same way with actors. People don't believe Meryl Streep is the best actor alive because, she's, so glamorous or whatever. It's because she has this uncanny ability to connect with a wide variety of people and display that through the characters that she portrays on screen. It's the same with wrestling. You need to be able to present yourself in such a way that people connect with you as an individual, even if it's complete artifice. Even if you are the worst person alive, but you're playing the most likable babyface alive. Okay, they connect with you, bro. And that's ultimately all that really matters. That's why somebody like Bryan Danielson, in my eyes, is in the running for best wrestler of all time. It's not just that he is so technically proficient. It's not just that he's so giving in the ring. It's that he has so many avenues that make him likable, that make him relatable, that make you invest in him. It's all the things combined. The more tools you have in your kit, the better off you are, right? So, I mean, you can offset that by being really, 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 really good at one thing. The Rock was the master of that. Like, his in-ring, he was serviceable. Let's be real. He was fine. It was the force of his personality. It was just so far beyond literally anybody in history. The man parlayed his innate charisma not only to being one of the most professional, one of the most successful professional wrestlers ever, but being the most monetarily successful actor in history when he's not a good actor. No. So people just like him. He's got it, man.
Yeah.
And that was so strong that it overpowered the need to be anything else.
Yeah.
But to me, it's that combination of things. Will Ospreay's another guy. Who knew he had this kind of personality? In New Japan, interviews don't matter as much.
No, you don't get to talk that much over there.
You do it generally in the pressers afterwards. You'll get to cut your promos, but it's not the every week. Here's a little slice of me for you to get to know, so that you can connect to me. It's much more sports based in Japan. What made him successful in Japan is partially what's going to make him really, really successful over here, but only part of it, because you only need that part over in Japan. Yeah. He is an excellent bell-to-bell specialist. Yeah. But, what's really, I think, made him grow in AEW is that he's also a very, very likable guy.
Yeah.
Like, on top of being possibly the best bell-to-bell guy in the world.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to have such success when he comes back if he can keep healthy. Like, when he wins that title in Wembley Stadium, the sound is going to shatter all the camera lenses in that building. It's going to be so loud. It's going to be so cathartic for him. I'm going to be so happy for him because, to me, he's currently the best. I mean, he's not working right now because he's injured. But if he was still currently wrestling, yeah, he's the best wrestler walking God's green as far as I'm concerned. That's still active.
Yeah,
because he has all of these things that allow you to connect with him as a performer.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few like out there right now that are just like all time great. You know, we're kind of spoiled for choice as far as like possible like Mount Rushmore contenders and all time greats and
there's never been
like
a more talented generation of wrestlers than there is right now.
Yeah,
we are so spoiled.
But
so spoiled.
But like that in itself is kind of evolving like the standard of what it is to be good. To be great. Because right now good isn't good enough. You gotta be great.
No, you gotta be great.
Yeah, you gotta be great. And so like you could transplant some people from previous generations into now, and they'd probably still be great. Like if you brought them over now from like the height of their, popularity or the height of their career, no injuries to now, certain people would still be great. Like,
yeah.
Like as much as we don't want to like condone him or promote him, like Ric Flair would probably still be a great. Considered a great. He's a fantastic bell-to-bell wrestler, 60 minutes, and can keep you engaged the entire time. But there's other more low key ones. So I mean, some less low key, but like Steamboat would probably still be a fucking great man.
Yeah.
Like prime era Steamboat in AEW would kill.
Yeah, honestly, he'd probably be more successful in this era than he was back then. And he's a former NWA World Champion. When they did not give that away like candy.
No. Somebody like Rick Rude would probably still be a great.
Oh yes, Rick Rude. God, what a waste.
Yeah, so such untapped potential in that career due to the injury. But I mean, people like that. So like, but the new generation has made it where there are way less names from before that would still be considered great today if their career happened all over again starting now. Some people that were world fucking champions would never make it on TV today.
Yeah.
Looking Hogan,
at you, Tommy Rich.
looking at you, Hulk. I'm looking at you, Hulk fucking Hogan.
Yeah.
Like if Hulk Hogan came out and did what he did now, starting now.
Yeah.
He would never have gotten off the fucking ground. Like huge guy, cool. You can't wrestle for shit, bro. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's others, but that's a prime example. Like somebody who would not be on the list today, that is only on the list by virtue of when they happen to be in the business. So it's like that it's always evolving. No longer is it just a huge guy who can talk. Now it's, how well are you actually working in between the ring? How much are we going to have to cover you up with people who aren't as over, but are way better workers than you? Because that happened a lot back then.
How many bells and whistles do we have to attach to you?
Yeah. Yeah, like people like Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior would never make it in today's industry because they just don't have the work rate to do it. They just don't. Even guys like them in WWE who have like that same kind of like size or intensity that those guys had. Like Braun Breaker is a way better bell to bell wrestler than either of those motherfuckers by a
Yeah,
lot,
yeah.
by a lot. And that is your big
That's
beefy
saying
like
something
Hulk Hogan,
too.
like
That's saying something too. Like, I mean, the fact that he's already bell to bell better than his dad and his
well,
uncle during their primes.
maybe his
Like,
uncle, no, definitely his uncle, but maybe his dad. Like Rick Steiner was always the better wrestler of the two. I always thought he was just like generally somebody
I
who
always
back
understood him
then
to be underrated. I
um,
don't know if
he would have been easily. I mean, and I'm positive if I went and asked some of the older guys from the industry, like, would you describe Rick Steiner as a good hand, which is like the ultimate compliment from like that era?
yeah,
Yeah, he's definitely a
yeah.
good hand. And Scott
He
Steiner,
would rough you up
no,
though.
yeah, Scott's the face and the voice and the entertainment, and Rick was the hand. And so like
Neither one of them was afraid
Braun,
to mess you up
oh
if you
no, they'll
got out of
fuck you
line
right
though.
up. Yeah, they'll fuck
Yeah.
you right up. But like, is Braun better than Rick was? I don't know. Probably about the same. Is he better than Scott? Fuck yeah, 100%, no question. So, but is he better than Rick? I don't know. Rick was a fucking great hand. Might be a couple years. I mean, he'll get there for sure if he's not already. But a couple
So
years.
does that make Braun Breaker the big bad booty nephew?
Yeah, he's the big bad booty nephew,
Mm,
not the big bad booty son. Yeah,
no, because big bad booty daddy is Scott.
yeah.
So his brother's his nephew. That makes Braun Breaker big bad
Yeah,
booty nephew.
he's the puppy faced gremlin.
Ooh, puppy face gremlin.
Yeah,
Fair
that
enough.
works.
Like it. Like
I
it.
mean, I met him before he was in WWE, very shortly before. I think at his college graduation celebration dinner. I'm not sure what it was. They booked the entire back room of the restaurant that I was working at, and I worked for a TV chef for a while. Who like she's on TV a lot as a chef. She's famous. She's like friends with Gordon and people like that. And she has a bunch of restaurants here where I live. And I worked for her for a while. And she has like, I mean, they're fancy spots. They're brigade kitchens with like fine dining. Like it's real deal shit. And they rented the back room of our place for this celebration dinner. And I wasn't allowed to ask or take selfies or any of that stuff. I did get to interact with them a little bit because they put a different guy on grill. I was the grill guy. They put a different guy on grill and put me on fry station because there was like they put all of the top like saute cooks and everybody in there, and all the normal like grill guys and salad station guys who were newer and less experienced did not get to work that shit. It was just us guys. Like if you weren't like at least a grill guy, you weren't in the kitchen. And so I got put on fry station because there was a more experienced grill guy than me, but he fucked up Scott Steiner's steak so many times that Scott Steiner came in my kitchen.
Uh-oh.
And if I tell you that's not an intimidating, and when the front of house manager in the kitchen tried to argue with him about the steak, and me standing there knowing damn well that steak was fucking not what he ordered. Braun and Rick came in there, and they were all three in there, and so I got to meet them because they were like, "Who's cooking this steak?" Blah blah, and they kind of chewed the guy's ass a little bit, and then my head chef was like, "Hey man, you swap him real quick," and then I'm start cooking a steak, and they go, "You gonna do this?" I was like, "Not only am I gonna do this as a fantastic grill chef from Texas, but I'm also a huge fan of you guys. And I also work in the wrestling business as a referee. And so you're about to get the best steak of your fucking life." And they were like, "We fucking appreciate that, bro." And then like, I sent out their steaks again. They came back into the kitchen with empty plates and were like, "That was a fucking steak." They shook my fucking hand and they went back to their celebration dinner. I was fucking happy as a pig and shit. The Steiners love my steak.
Yeah.
But yeah, like those dudes are so like Braun is so fucking big, but such a nice like contrary to his.
The funny thing is, he doesn't really seem like I've only seen him in like clips and stuff, but he doesn't really seem like overly huge on TV.
I am not a big man. Okay. Like if I straighten up and do the perfect posture thing and extend my neck a little bit, I ride at 6 feet.
Yeah.
Um, Rick and Scott will make anybody look little. They're old school, fucking big, beefy 80s and 90s guys. They're big.
Yeah.
Braun is a little smaller, but make no mistake, that is a supersized human being. Like, that is you can look at him and be like, that is a big boy and a fucking, like, genetically modified, like, superior athlete. Like, he is, like, but contrary to his TV personality, is so chill and nice, or at least was to me in the short time that I interacted with him. Was like very like I watched them chew someone's ass and argue with my front of house manager, and the way they interacted with me was a complete 180 from that, because I told them what was going to happen, let them know that I was in the industry and was going to do my best not to disappoint them, and they were like, okay, and they took me at my word, and I delivered. And so when they came back, they were very cool. But yeah, like it was just really weird and random how I ran into those guys, and they kind of come into our conversation now. But like Braun, gonna be he's very good. I would love to see him in AEW in like some big man matches with some of those guys. Like, and I know it's probably never gonna happen. He's probably gonna be fed his entire career.
Unless they refuse to pull the trigger on him.
Yeah, like, but I think that's probably coming soon. I think he's only not getting the trigger pulled on him for WrestleMania because he's injured.
Well,
I think if he didn't get injured, like, that was coming.
From everything that I've been reading, and certain people's opinions, so like, maybe I'm getting biased opinions. Touche. But from what I'm reading, what I'm seeing, hearing, like, the big knock against Triple H is that, like, in his booking, is that, like, he never pays anything off. Like, he just waits and he waits, and that's why you have Aleister Black and Damian Priest still going at it almost a year later. Like, is why you have Penta finally winning the IC title only a year after it probably would have been the most relevant and most exciting. Like,
yeah.
So, like, you just, like, holding patterns, people. Like, so I could see it happening. Oh, not yet. Like, well, freaking when then? Like,
yeah. I mean, it's kind of like Penta. Penta came over. He got super over super fast. He could have easily been the IC champion like a fucking year ago. And he just now pulled the trigger on that. Yeah. And it took Danhausen cursing the motherfucker to get us there. So it's like, like, yeah, I kind of feel that sentiment. I understand it. Because, yeah, he does take, it seems like he takes forever to do shit. And it's like, dude, will you fucking get to it already? Like.
But that's neither here nor there. We're talking about what makes a wrestler good.
Yeah, but what makes a wrestler good? Not being Triple H.
There is that.
Oh, wait, that's what makes a booker. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, it still is what makes a wrestler. Whatever. Anyway. What makes a wrestler I don't know, good is maybe not good enough. Maybe it needs to be great, because like I said, like it's almost not enough to be good anymore. Like, look at like Dynamite Kid and what was the other guy's name? The two that are
Adam Priest.
They're good, man. They're really good. Good isn't quite good enough. No, because everybody over in AEW is at least good. Like, you got a couple people, like, I mean, you got the outliers. You got like Lena Cross right now, and like a couple other people who really are, the work rate's not their thing. The Iconics, work rate's not their thing. That's not what they're there for. And then there's other people who like work rate needs to be their thing, like Lena, and we ain't there yet. But for the most part, everybody over there is at least good, at least really good. At least, man, if you're going to get the crowd's attention, you got to be great. You don't just got to be good. You got to be great.
I mean, it really is what Swerve said. Like, this is, this is a scene full of killers here.
Yeah.
You got to be a killer too.
Yeah, you got to be everybody's a killer, and you got to be a killer too. And so, what makes somebody good? Being great. And what makes somebody great? That's where the debate lies, because you can be a good wrestler and a good promo and a good look and a good everything, but are you great? And that, I think, actually is even a whole nother debate on its own. Is what makes them transition from that point from good to great, because good isn't enough. You got to be great. But what separates? And really, is it just an elevated level of all those base things? Is it just I'm a better entertainer and a better wrestler and a better talker and I have a better look than the good people? Like, is it really gonna? Does it come down really to that it factor, or is it a combination of like the it factor and your environment? Because would Will Ospreay be considered an all-time great like he is in AEW if he had ended up in WWE? Would that environment been conducive to him to develop his character in the way that he
very
has?
good point. Yeah.
You know, like, would that have happened?
If a tree falls in the forest, does anybody hear it? Or it doesn't make a
What
sound?
is the sound of one hand
like,
clapping? You know?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But yeah, like, no, you're absolutely right. That was something I hadn't even considered. It's like you can be the best in the world, but if nobody's there to see it, it doesn't matter.
Are you the best in the world? Yeah, like yeah. Like, I mean, I know some really fantastic indie wrestlers who probably could do well in AEW, but maybe just well. But maybe that environment also drives them to be better, you know. But definitely,
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter if they're pulling off AEW level shit if they're at an indie that has 40 fans a week. It doesn't matter. So is it also environment?
It's perception.
Perception,
really.
Yeah, because
it's
really
like,
this is an objective.
You can have everything, but
Yeah.
like you said, if you're not in the environment that would allow you to show it off, are you going to be recognized for what you are? And if you're not recognized for what you are you even that thing?
Yeah, and I mean, and so that and that's part of it. Like, I mean, I think about it, okay? Like, because you got like, there's somebody on a local indie near you, just as there is for me, that you're like, man, that person could be great in like WWE or AEW or New Japan or just a bigger place where they got more exposure and a little bit more polish, like where they had good production on their side, et cetera, et cetera. Like we all know that guy. And then you can look at the major promotions, all of them, and see one or two people that you're like, how come that guy has a job, but this dude over here doesn't have?
Yeah.
And
they saw this guy. They have a need for whatever he brings to the table that this guy doesn't.
Yeah. And but it's again all about perception. But that also brings us to objectivity, because this entire thing rests on personal objectivity.
Yeah.
It's all like, who I consider my greatest of all time may not be who you do. And there is no general consensus, because there's still people that will say Sean's better than Brett. You fucking liars.
They're entitled to their incorrect opinion.
They're entitled to it, but and that's the thing. They're entitled to it. So it's a valid opinion, whether I like it or not. Yeah. They're entitled to that. Like there are people that'll be like, fucking, they'll say, I mean, there are definitely people who have had fans who like, why, like who's cheering the boogeyman? Name yourselves, like, but so it's all like subjective, because like he might actually, depending on like how old you were and what era of wrestling you grew up in, that guy might actually be a pivotal figure in your wrestling fandom.
Like a foundational wrestling memory for you.
Yeah, exactly. So like where, I mean, I got lucky. My foundational wrestling memory includes the Road Warriors and Dusty Rhodes. I got lucky, There might be, it bothers me to think that there might be some poor kids out there whose first wrestling memory is the fucking boogeyman. Like, like, I'm sorry, kids.
I guarantee you, if it is, they're not wrestling fans anymore.
They may not
They
be
got scared away by the boogeyman.
maybe our Ship Libman's first memory is of the boogeyman. Maybe the first thing they saw was boogeyman, and that's why they hate wrestling.
That's why they
and
carry
life.
so much resentment. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because I could see like seeing the boogeyman and being like, man, I fucking hate life. Like, I could see it, you know. I mean, no offense to the guy himself. I'm sure he's a wonderful person, but like that was just like the
He's definitely
aspect.
committed.
But that was like that's not going to be considered good or great or even good. It's not going to be like mostly on the subject. Like there might be a bit of a consensus there, you know.
Yeah.
Like, but at the same time, it's like it's all down. Like it's personal preference, really. Who's great? Who do you think is great? You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Like who do you think is great? You're right. I have no leg to stand on to say who anybody else thinks is great is not great, because who the fuck am I to tell anybody else what they enjoy? And I think that's the key thing. And maybe the major point here is like,
yeah,
what we think is great is not maybe what you think is great. You know, like, come on, how many of us fucking agree with Jim Cornette most of the time because he hates everything? Do we all hate everything?
Yeah.
No. You know,
No.
but do we agree with like Conrad all the time, people who generally love everything? No, we don't. But that's just us. And maybe that's not you. And maybe who you like is completely different from who we like. And maybe who you think is a great is completely different from people that we have. And maybe there's a lot of crossover. Maybe a lot of the people we think are great, you also like. I would be hard pressed, I bet, to find an AEW fan who doesn't think Will Ospreay is an all-time great. I bet you don't have very many of those at all.
Probably not.
You know, but there's people that are definitely on my greats list just by the virtue of my age, who are not on younger fans or even older fans list. It's just, you know, like there's not going to be a lot of like 80s era older fans or new fans who are like John Cena's an all-time great. But I think so. You know, there's not a lot of people who are going to be hard. You're going to be hard pressed, like I said, at AEW to find somebody who's like, Will Ospreay's not a great, or Kenny Omega, or Okada, or like, I mean, you like, there's tons I could name that like guaranteed 90% of this room is like, yeah, that's a Mount Rushmore guy.
Yeah.
You know, but it's all subjective and objective and personal preference and all of those wonderful things that give us what we like to call a general autonomy as people. You're allowed to like what you like. If your favorite character is the gayest guy in the room, Anthony Bowens, cool. I don't disagree with you. I think he's awesome.
Yeah,
you know, but even if I didn't like him, I don't have a place to disagree with you anyway, because it's whatever you like. You like what you like, you know, like, and unless
you like Logan Paul, and then you can go.
Yeah, unless you like, there's a couple things. Like, if you're a fan of this lady who hates wrestling, ship off. If you like Logan Paul, go fuck yourself. If you I love, I'm a heated member of the Brett versus Sean rivalry, and I'm not going to tell a Sean lover to go fuck themselves, because Shawn Michaels is still part of the greatest match I've ever witnessed live.
Shawn Michaels is an all-time great.
Yeah.
But he's not Brett.
But he's not Brett.
He's not Brett.
So, but that's just me. But there are people who believe the exact opposite of those things.
Yeah.
You know, like,
and that's fine. They're wrong, but that's fine.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's all objective. It's all subjective. Enjoy what you enjoy. I'm never going to hate. Like, we shouldn't be hating on anybody for enjoying what they like, whether it's in wrestling or other areas of life. Like,
unless it actively hurts somebody.
Yeah. If what you enjoy actively hurts or denies the rights of people, then you're fucked up and fuck you. But if what you enjoy is like a different wrestler than me, feel free to enjoy a different wrestler than I enjoy. Feel free to disagree with any of our takes here on any point of the show.
I'm not gonna go out of my way to watch it because it's WWE and I have issues watching WWE and giving them my patronage. But if you don't think I'm going around my place of employment and looking at fellow wrestling fans and going like this and cursing them Danhausen style, you would be wrong, because I am doing that all the time now. So, because it's funny and it's
I'm
fun.
definitely cursing folks right now. Just in general, like every time I see the orange he who shall not be named, I'm like, and I hope he just kills over of a whatever.
Maybe
just
it'll happen
literally
today.
like, hey guys, just like, hey universe, from my lips to your ears or whatever. Just whatever thing, whenever, now, anytime now.
Yeah.
Okay, just like
Anytime
whatever,
would be
whenever.
great.
Like really, I don't buy someone else's. Like I don't care.
Please go Shakira on it, whenever, wherever.
Yeah, exactly. Just like, Lord Jesus, call him home. Like
it won't be Jesus.
Oh no, he'll call him home, but he's definitely gonna kick him to the basement. St. Peter's gonna be like, you think you're getting in?
Please.
Like, you're gonna give that man the best laugh he's had in like 3 millennia. Anyway, beyond all that, thank you guys for joining us. What makes a wrestler great? What makes a wrestler good? Whatever you think.
You tell us.
Yeah, tell us.
We've yapped on way too long about it. You tell us.
Tell us. Tell me online. Tell me. Tell a phone. Tell a friend. Tell a wrestler.
Yeah.
Like
maybe your maybe your brand new friends in Colorado can tell you.
I might just go ask them directly. Like, hey, guess what? If you guys listen to our podcast and you're on Blue Sky, I might actually just hit you. If I know that you listen to us, I might just hit you up directly. Hey, answer me this question. And then it might get used on an episode, but I am liable, as a person who enjoys interacting with other people. I'm liable to just hit you directly and be like, hey, tag X person, tell me what your opinion on this is, because I want to know. Mike DeMark, our good AEW rankings friend.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think, dog. Like, Elise, go ahead, tell us what you think. Like, all our wonderful, like, those are our day one folks right there. Yeah. Mike and Elise. So,
love you, boo.
So yeah, y'all fucking tell us what you think. I mean, whatever. I'm liable just to hit y'all directly and ask. But thank you for joining us as always. Remember, it is an increasingly shitty world out there. Fucking Christ. Yeah. I hate that I have to keep saying that week after week, because it just keeps getting worse out there. But like, worse and worse. Keep your head on a swivel, please. If you're going out to exercise your rights, please be extremely careful. I don't trust anything these people are doing anymore. And so I'm worried about all of you who are, along with me, out here exercising your rights and doing your thing. Please be safe out there. Please keep your head on a swivel. As always, fuck ice. We love you.
Peace.
Peace.